Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Welcome in as we get set for the Columbus Blue Jackets this evening, honoring Connor McDavid's 1,000th point. A few games ago or so that would seem against the Nashville Predators. It's been a wild past few weeks. Of course, things heating up there for Pack the Pete Purple, the last live event you were able to watch here on Dolynny TV. We made it the whole way through that hockey game, so that's pretty impressive considering where we've been this season so far with the Edmonton Oilers. I must say it was an absolutely fantastic, wonderful, amazing, incredible, powerful night to be a part of down at the Pete Knight Memorial Arena in Crossfield. Hopefully I can convince my broadcast partner that evening, Patrick over at the Oilers Fanatic, to make that happen with me a few more times this season. Always a great time to get live in the rink and get some hockey called, even when you're not 100% certain on what's going on with the broadcast up until you get it going. So to that I say good evening to you as we get back in the studio here this evening for the regular old occurrences that are these Edmonton Oilers live streams. What is this, number 4 or 5 on the calendar year? I think the last one we live streamed was against Montreal, got shut out in that game. I was a little angry by the end of that one. So hopefully the Oilers against another not so great opponent in the, those guys, the Montreal, Columbus Blue Jackets, we come up with a better effort. Sorry, Montreal Canadiens, I was focusing on what I had just said. But yeah, hopefully the Oilers come up with an all-around better effort for us tonight. Zach Hyman returns. That is your big leading story for tonight's hockey game. Zach Hyman is back in the Oilers' threads, and of course that's a massive boost to a top 6 that outside of Connor and Leon hasn't had much production. I know Vasily Podkolzin has started tapping pucks into the back of the net. He's up to 8 points this year, so things are looking better for him, and he'll start alongside, I believe, Kapanen and Draisaitl. So guys with some good potential, guys who have played some prominent minutes in their career at different junctures, and hopefully tonight they can find a way to stick together as a line where Leon Draisaitl contributes to them finishing some goals. Basically, if you caught the video last night about the Oilers offense being broken, we're about a minus 0.4 in the goal differential column this year. The Oilers aren't even averaging 3 goals per game. Power play is terrible compared to normal. And really it comes down to guys just need to actually shoot the puck and realize that you can't pass it into the net. And that comes down to just because you have talent doesn't mean that that equals goals. So the Oilers have to definitely go out there and earn those tonight. Go out there, play very direct, shoot the puck on net, and just don't give up until you get what you want. And if the Oilers do that this evening, unlike the 6-1 drubbing Columbus gave us earlier this season, things should work out pretty dang well for us. So that's at least what I'm expecting out of the Edmonton Oilers tonight, is an effort that we can actually, as Oilers fans, somewhat be proud of. Obviously, nothing's been perfect this season for the Oilers, so when I say somewhat, at least give us a win, at least give us 4 or 5 goals, and if everything else around the game's ugly, who cares? At least we won. We're getting into that time of the year, right? This is kind of where we started heating up last year, and this is kind of where we need to start heating up this year. I know our record says we're above 500, but a team that promised a better start, if you look realistically where the Oilers were after 25 games last year, about right here. I know folks are confused by how that works when you start 2-9-1 or 3-12-1 or whatever it was, but remember, we won 8 games in a row after that, and suddenly we were right back to square one where we are right now. So, basically, we're in the same boat as last year still at this point of the season, and we just really need to get going here and get the job done, because Columbus is an opponent you should take to town for a couple of goals at least this evening, and if they can do that, we'll be pretty satisfied all around by the end of the night. So that's what I'm expecting out of the Oilers this evening. Of course, that to be said, I wonder how much some of you back home have been paying attention to some of the other shenanigans happening on the channel here. Just to kind of say again, for those of you just tuning in, we've had that Pack the Pete Purple last live stream out of the Crossfield Arena there, the Pete Knight Memorial Arena. That was a fantastic event to be a part of for those of you just tuning in now if you missed my ramble at the start. And of course, looking forward to hopefully having more live hockey on Dolynny TV as the season allows. Minor hockey is a little bit different of a breed of hockey to live stream compared to, junior B or provincials or something like that. It's kind of a little bit trickier of a situation, and these arenas don't quite have the facilities a guy needs to set a camera up on a tripod, a computer on a table, and have a broadcast vantage point at the same time. So we'll see what happens. Bucks Blue, welcome into the chat. Thanks for being aboard. And again, friends, everybody tuning in, welcome aboard. Thanks for being aboard. I know these live streams have been few and far between this year. Austin, over on Austin Hockey's kind of been carrying things for us in the live stream department here in the Edmonton Oilers realm. Again, I'm hoping as the season goes on, things kind of pick up here on the live stream train. I know I'm really getting antsy to get towards the World Juniors. Excited for that. Very excited for that, actually. The World Juniors is always kind of my favorite moment of the season. This year we get international hockey in another sense with the Four Nations Cup, which we'll surely be discussing with Bouchard and Hyman tonight about their snubs from the team. So, basically there's a ton to get to in international this year. And I think, too, it'll be really interesting to see if I can block some time sometime in June or sometime in May, to allow us to live stream some World Championship hockey as well. So plenty on the docket for 2025. But first, we got to get through the remaining 26 days of December. And it's crazy to say that because I got 26 days here to really step up to what was an incredible year last year covering the Oilers, thanks in large part to how terrible they were. So we'll see what the Oilers have in store for us this month and what the World Juniors can kind of put together over the course of the next 26 days as we approach midnight on December 31st. So, hey now, welcome aboard. Glad to see you back, as I'm sure we're going to see a bunch of familiar faces I haven't seen in a little while here this evening. And quite simply, friends, tonight's live stream goal, if the Oilers really come out of the gates struggling this evening in the first period, I'll probably tune on out and just go enjoy dinner and stuff like that. It's really not worth stressing over at this point of the year anyway. But that said, we're going to hang on as long of a dang time as we can this evening. And basically with the whole idea that we can live stream towards somewhere over 25 hours this evening. That's kind of the idea. So hopefully that is the case, as there's, like I said, kind of slacked off in November, and now we got to try to make good on it here in December. And in terms of looking at what happened there in Calgary the other night against Columbus, I actually have not seen any of the coverage from that. I guess November is kind of carrying over to December. It's just been a busy month already, which just plenty of problems to solve, plenty of problems to keep track of as we enter a new month. And it's basically, I didn't really catch much of the game against Vegas. Literally one of the only moments I really caught was the Oilers there in the third period for about 5 minutes going ham. I think they finished with 16 shots in that third period. But for those that watched the video last night, I don't think my frustrations about the Oilers offense were targeted at the game against Vegas. It was more targeted at the fact that you just have not scored at all in any of your losses. So pretty much it's been a guarantee if the Oilers score 3 goals this season in a game, they're going to win 99.9% of the time. So looking for the Oilers to pop a quick 3 in this first period and then give us a reason to stick around the rest of the night instead of making the other goalie look like a superstar. So we'll see what that ultimately leads to, but we got plenty of time here this evening before things get underway. It's only 6:39. Zach Hyman's back in for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. That's a huge relief for what has been a tough injury stretch here for the Oilers, losing Arvidsson and Hyman at a time. You need depth scoring to step up. The lineups, well, we've got RNH, McDavid, Hyman, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Kapanen, Janmark, Henrique Skinner, Perry, Ryan, Brown. So you got to figure that the Oilers changing things up and throwing some guys on their off wing tonight, maybe that gets something going and gets somebody started in a positive direction. Defense is Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher, Kulak, Emberson. Of course, Stetcher and Kulak you'll see rotate up there with Nurse. That's kind of been the way things have been going the better part of the past 10-15 games now, it feels like. And Emberson, who's been physical over the past few games, hoping to see him continue throwing the body, laying the body, and getting us going. And just hopefully out of the fourth line, maybe you get a point out of Derek Ryan, because he's approaching territory here where if you don't start getting point production from him, we really, truly, actually have to have the conversation around yeeting this guy off the roster, because Derek Ryan's just going out there killing about a minute and a half of penalties a game and floating on the ice, doing not much of anything else. So not to be down on Derek Ryan, who's been a solid soldier for us the past several years. It's just, sorry, Noah Philp can come in cheaper. Noah Philp can come in and do the same job, if not better, for a coach that actually lets him play offense, as opposed to what's going on down there in Bakersfield with Colin Chalk. So my gripes aside with the Oilers organization this evening, let's go quickly get to where we're at. We're entering action tonight with 17,125 subscribers on the Ledger. So again, friends, it's been a pretty crazy month all told for a lack of action. A lot of you have jumped aboard this month, and obviously we continue to climb numbers here in the month, or here in the year 2024. So appreciate everybody obviously sticking with me this year. I know I haven't been easy to deal with, but again, when you set the bar with the expectations the Oilers have the past 3 years, and you continually start slow, you gotta at some point get it right. And the Oilers maybe tonight, maybe get it right, maybe tomorrow get it right, who knows. But at some point they're going to have to, because I'm getting pretty frustrated with these slow starts, and I think that's well warranted to say. So yeah, we are rolling along here tonight, friends. We've got plenty of time to go before we get to tonight's action. What is it? 6:41 on the clock. The Oilers starting Calvin Pickard tonight, 5-3 record, 250 goals against average, 896 save percentage. So what you need to know about the Oilers is the goaltending department has not been phenomenal. Yes, that 250 is awesome, but again, Calvin Pickard's 5-3 with a 250 goals against average, which has got to tell you the Oilers have to start scoring some goals here, or things are going to be really ugly. The Blue Jackets, of course, they're starting a goaltender whose numbers are astronomically worse than that of Stuart Skinner's. 404 goals against average, 861 save percentage for Daniil Tarasov. And I'll tell you what's going to happen here. Daniil Tarasov is going to absolutely dummy the Oilers this evening, because that is just the way it works out there in Oilers land. The Columbus Blue Jackets averaging 3.46 goals per game. The Oilers averaging 2.96 goals against per game. So I guess that game against Vegas brought things down substantially for them, which is good, right? 1 goal against is going to bring things down. I was sitting there at 0.4. I don't know what math I was looking at, maybe an old screen or something, but still, you're a negative 0.08 goal differential for a team that has Connor and Leon on it. That's a problem. Power plays are exactly similar. Penalty kills are exactly similar. Penalty kills been more impressive for the Oilers of late, getting up to 72.1% on the season. Again, they climb up towards 79, 80, and things are suddenly solved. And you start getting that power play back over 20, and we're talking here in business. But those goals per game got to climb over 3 somehow, some way, sometime here soon. So see what happens. Of course, plenty to be decided yet tonight. And obviously, if if Zach Hyman gets things going here now that he's finally healthy, I guess to say everybody was pretty critical of Hyman all season long, but if you watched him right from the start of the year, it just seemed like something was off. Something was a little nicked up, if that makes sense. Something was just not feeling good. You saw a lot early in the season. He was always shaking his right hand, I want to say. And it was a few games after kind of the camera got him a few times shaking his right hand that he suddenly wasn't in the lineup anymore. So we'll obviously see what happens here for Zach Hyman. But I expect if the Oilers' top line starts humming again, good results are coming for the Edmonton Oilers squad. So hopefully all that works out, and away we go with scoring about 3.8 goals per game again, and suddenly we're not complaining too hard about an Oilers offense that isn't producing the results we want to see. So all right, what else do we know? Let's go take a quick scroll again. If you're just tuning in, RNH, McDavid, Hyman, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Kapanen, Janmark, Henrik, Skinner, Perry, Ryan, Brown, Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher, Kulak, and then Emerson. That's your lineup for tonight's action. You look at the pizza line over in Ottawa is back this evening for a one-night-only special occasion. Seth Jarvis scoring goals here for the Carolina Hurricanes. Again, don't ask me about that one. But yeah, plenty of stuff going on across the NHL here tonight, and the Oilers have to get things rolling in a positive manner early and often. Again, you score 3 goals in this first period against the Columbus Blue Jackets, you 99.9% win this hockey game, especially with Calvin Pickard allowing only 2.5 goals per game. I think you could guarantee it at 110%, but I don't want to be too bravado with that. So we'll see what the Oilers can do this evening against a Blue Jackets squad that, if I could read my screen, let's go here and see what we're looking at. The Columbus Blue Jackets squad that's 11, 10, and 3 on the season. So not that much worse than us, and obviously they have beat us once this season, so that's another thing to keep in mind here, is we've really got to step up and get the job done as the weaker opponents continue on the schedule, and we just simply have to start knocking whoever's at our doorstep that night, knocking them down and sending them packing with a loss. And that's really what this part of the year is all about for the Oilers. You get through December, you end up 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe games over 500, right? We're 3 over wins loss right now. So, you get 4 more than that, and all of a sudden things really start stacking up. Once you get into the new year, you know how that February trade deadline time goes for the Oilers. You acquire that talent you're looking for in the top 4, and suddenly, we're cooking just like we should have been the whole time. So we'll see what the Oilers can achieve for us here tonight. But obviously, for right now, we'll go across the NHL and check the scoreboard as it stands. The Florida Panthers, Philadelphia Flyers, 4-4 with 2 minutes to go in the second period. Senators, Red Wings, well, the Senators leading that one 1-0. Detroit's in meltdown mode this year compared to expectation. 2-2 between the Jets and Sabres. 1-0 for Montreal over the meltdown Predators. 3-1 for the Hurricanes over the Avalanche, who again are just having a terrible year comparatively to where they should be, but again, injuries have played key there. 7-0 Tampa Bay over top of the Sharks. End of 2. That's a respectable result there for the Lightning. The Sharks, tough season ahead. 3-0 for the Kraken over the Islanders. Again, that's no surprise. The Islanders are miserable, as they have been several years in a row now. And then the Oilers and the Flames, the last 2 teams to get into action. The Blues in action at 7 p.m. against the Flames. The Blue Jackets in action against the Oilers at 7 p.m. That's what you need to know as we continue along here on the pregame show. Friends, thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Appreciate you being aboard, as I've said a few times already tonight. But again, it's got to be reworked several times over on a pregame broadcast, as it's just something that you got to mention as many times as you can. So as we go here, I want to take another look as we're approaching. Okay, perfect. We're approaching. I said 25. We're already at 4.5. Things are looking good in the back end, and all of a sudden we just need to get going. And again tonight, friends, we continue to experiment with the new way of doing stream advertising here on YouTube. So again, if you have any complaints, let me know in the comment section. But I think overall, last time everybody was pretty satisfied with how that works, so we shouldn't have too much to complain about here tonight. And as I take a look, things are starting to heat up on the channel a little bit here as we get back into live streaming business a little bit this evening. So Chris, I'll tell you, last time the Columbus Blue Jackets definitely did that. Again, friends, reminder, just keep it friendly in the chat. It's not unfortunately, but you know what I mean, is we've got all ages in here, so we have to keep that mindful at all times, at least from my perspective. But the Columbus Blue Jackets beat us 6-1 last time and really gave us a lot to think about after that loss, and the Oilers simply just have to be better tonight. But again, you score 3 goals and you probably don't give up 6. That's the way the season's been working so far, and if the Oilers go out there and do that tonight, then all of a sudden we're going to be flying. You score 3 goals in this first period and the win's guaranteed 110%, because I don't think in more than one game this season that we've scored 3 goals in a loss. So it's been an ugly one. It's been a tough one for the Oilers overall in terms of the win-loss department when it comes to goal scoring, and they get the job done here tonight in a 3-4 goal effort, and all of a sudden we're talking about our 14th win of the season on a goal scoring effort, and now hey, what happens? Suddenly you're looking at a 14-10 and 2 record where things look good. So Fiber Optics, the lines this evening for you: RNH, McDavid, Hyman is back. It feels crazy to say that after a few games of absence, but he's back. You got Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Kapanen on the second line. So Kapanen continues to be very fortunate to be in the position he is in following his waiver claim from the St. Louis Blues. The third line, a little bit mixed up tonight: Henrique, Janmark, Skinner. And then you've got the fourth line of Perry, Brown, and Derek Ryan. Defense, again, you know who it is. It's Kulak on the third line with Emberson, Nurse with Stetcher. Kulak and Stetcher will switch off a couple times this game. And then you have as well the top line of Matthias Ekholm and, yes, indeed, Evan Bouchard, who was snubbed from Team Canada. I'm sorry, Travis Sanheim might be a great defenseman and all, but again, as a seventh defenseman role, Evan Bouchard wasn't going to hurt you in case Cale Makar went down. So that's just some perspective from an Oilers fan. Some might not care to hear that, so fair enough. But yeah, we continue along here, friends. Seeing that the Oilers are getting closer and closer to game action. About 9 minutes till Gene Principe graces our television sets, and then we get going with this evening's game. But yeah, excited to look forward to what'll be a good hockey game this evening. Again, if you're looking for a little something different, at the top of your chat pinned is a video I did there last night, kind of messing around with non-subscriber published videos, if that makes any sense to those of you back home on YouTube. Basically just throwing some other content up to kind of add to the repertoire that is this channel at this point in the year 2024. So continuing an old trend, actually, something that I first originated in 2016. So we'll see what happens. And no, we are actually in Edmonton this evening against Columbus. So we are honoring Connor McDavid for his 1,000th point against Nashville. This is the first chance the Oilers have had since he's scored that point to be at home and do a pregame ceremony. So that'll be the case here this evening. And yes, Fiber Optics, when it comes to Skinner on the right wing, again, the Oilers, how do I put this? No matter who the coach is, no matter what the players are, no coach is ever satisfied with the lines for more than 20 minutes at a time. So read into Skinner on the right wing all you want. It's probably not going to last more than 15-20 minutes of this hockey game tonight. And we'll be lucky to see the Oilers go out there and roll the same four lines for, like I said, 15-20 minutes. But Skinner on the right wing, I think it really is maybe a lot to do with getting some jam out of the bottom lines, right? Loading up your bottom six, if that makes sense. Janmark's been productive. Skinner's not been great, but he's not by far been your awfulest forward. And then you really need to get Adam Henrique going. So you put him with two guys that have scored more points than him, and it's going to insulate things a bit. But oh boy, this Oilers team needs some guys going, and that's not even to free up Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl from fault, where they quite haven't had the seasons they normally would. I think both would have 3, 4, 5 more points at this point of the season than they do. And again, that's unrealistic expectations to have a guy at almost 1.5 points per game, but it just really comes down to both guys are huge scorers and should be capable of producing those kind of results in the modern NHL. So we'll see what happens tonight. And in net, again, missed that in the lineup report. Calvin Pickard's in this evening. Again, I'm not going to get too worked up about that, because if the Oilers don't score more than 2 goals tonight, it doesn't mean anything, because Pickard's goals against is about 2.5, and the Oilers, if they lose, they score less than 3 goals a game. So if they score less than 3 goals tonight, of course they will lose. That seems to be the trend. That seems to be the direction, and we desperately need to start turning that trend and direction around ASAP. So we stay tuned to see what tonight's game obviously brings us in terms of action. As friends, we're climbing into pregame territory here on the broadcast. We're only 5 minutes away from Gene, Jack, and Louie bringing us inside Rogers Place for another evening. Wish I was up there. Actually, I know a few people up there this evening as we creep towards that 10 hours pregame stream. So thank you again for spending your time with me here this evening. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And when it comes down to a fight, trust me, I think there will be somebody looking to go with Mathieu Olivier, as he's been scrapping quite heavy this season and he's not been afraid to mix it up. And I wonder, if the Oilers throw somebody out there against him, I think Josh Brown would probably be his best matchup out there, but unfortunately he's not with the club right now. He's down in Bakersfield, so we'll see what happens when it comes to the Oilers trying to obviously get the gloves dropped with Mathieu Olivier. So no matter what, he'll be looking to stir it up even if he can't find an opponent. So the other issue is he can score goals and put up points, and that's kind of tough. Let's go here. What else do we got? Owen Tippett scores twice in 23 seconds. Looks like the Lions and the Packers are going at it tonight. I think that's a big matchup in the NFL if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there's not much else to report about the action across the NHL. When we look at the goal scoring departments, right, San Jose's, yeah, things are not looking too great across all the games right now. Most of them are in intermission, or if not close to second intermission this evening. So closing in on the late games tonight, both the Oilers and Flames in action. I guess to take a look at the standings, maybe we haven't done that yet as we approach 4 minutes to go until the broadcast flips over. In the Pacific, the Oilers currently in 5th. That is troublesome, right? The Oilers are currently in 5th, and as far as I'm concerned, are actually outside of a playoff spot if you look at it, because Colorado has the win. So we're not even in a playoff spot right now. Ay, that's embarrassing. Again, why am I so critical on the Oilers? Well, exactly that. The Oilers, I guess, actually are, because they played one less game than the Colorado Avalanche, so they're holding on, but they're tied for that second wildcard spot with 28 points with Colorado. So tonight's game, pivotal. Of course, our record at home, we can level it at 6-1, and then we can start turning things around. But you look at this, goals against for the Oilers, 74, goals for, 72. Goals for is simply just not good enough. The Flames got by on a hot start and have been struggling ever since, but you look at this here, they are the only team ahead of us or around us that have scored more or less goals than us. I mean, Vancouver's got 78, Los Angeles got 79, Vegas got 96. Suddenly the Oilers score even 6 more goals and they probably find a way to win 2 or 3 more games. And now suddenly you're talking about the Oilers being in second place in the division just like that. So yeah, that's where we find ourselves this evening, friends. Desperately in need of goal scoring, desperately in need of contributions up and down the lineup, and then all will be forgiven, all will be good, and all will be awesome for the Edmonton Oilers, who are just creeping along here this season in the playoff picture, but not quite solidified so far as this season has continued to tick along. Right, we're now into December. Time to get going, boys, as we normally do year in, year out. So we'll see what the Oilers bring for us this evening against a weaker Columbus Blue Jackets squad. Quaddy, it is picks for the Oilers tonight. Again, they got to make that mean something, right? He's been good in terms of the goals against number. The save percentage, again, I mean, everybody will yell at Skinner for a sub 900, but as soon as Pickard's in the 800s, oh man, he's fine, he's good, he's amazing. So, I mean, make it of what you will, but again, tonight you can't spoil the start from Picks, who has given you incredible backup goaltending this season for the Edmonton Oilers. So, like I said, make it mean something. That's all I care about this evening. Friends, before we get going at 7 p.m., I'm going to run upstairs and quickly go grab a water bottle. So give me a second here. We'll get going in a matter of moments. If you're new, hey, consider sticking around, eh? Gene Prince pays on my television and probably has already started on yours. So friends, let's do this. The Edmonton Oilers, the Columbus Blue Jackets this evening as we get set for what is going to be a monumental matchup. If the Oilers can score some goals and find a way to win a hockey game, things and life will be really grand. And looking forward to seeing the Oilers do it here this evening as we are rolling towards puck drop. Gene Principe gets things going from outside the Oilers dressing room this evening. Interesting location for him. I believe that would have to do with the ceremony for Connor McDavid's 1,000th point. Excited to see Connor get honored for that. That much is for sure. 1,000 points. That's the official puck this evening. The milestone achieved whatever day that was back then. But that was November 14th at this point. Crazy to think. The Oilers have only had a 5-day break and a road trip in there for sure. So, let's see what happens. Squatty, I agree with you there. And let's go here on the backup comment. And let's see what happens here. Ace, good evening to you. Northern Farm Girl, welcome in as we get going here, friends. Kind of going through the retrospect of Mr. Connor McDavid becoming the NHL poster boy. 347 goals, 666 assists. Oof, that's a... Oh man, you talk about me doing Highway to Hell and Welcome to the Jungle lately, eh? 1,013 points for Connor McDavid as there's the Gene Principe's pointing things out. Connor McDavid coming down the tunnel, trying to ignore him. Did the quick glance, and Zach Hyman does return to the Oilers lineup after missing 5 games. That is an important headline for you to know this evening, friends. I'm going to take a moment here as I think we missed something here on the pregame edition as we go here and quickly check this out as we go bing, bang, boom. Yeah, we're in check. We're good. So the Oilers about set to get things going this evening against the against the Columbus Blue Jackets. We'll have a commercial break on the broadcast. Again, if you find something's wrong with the commercial breaks here on Dolynny TV this evening, you let me know. I've started experimenting a little bit more with the ads, doing some different things in the background, so let me know how that's all working for you on your end. But as we draw in, we are almost ready for tonight's action against the Columbus Blue Jackets, ready to rock and roll. So Alex Ovechkin today is skating around there after breaking his legs 17 days ago. Interesting to see. And yeah, let's see what the Oilers have in store for us this evening as we go through the commercial breaks and get set up for tonight's game. So yes, Duster finally alive. It's been few and far between this season, but again, it's come down to the time allowable for it. It's been a really tough start to the season, I guess, to say, in terms of time management. It's been scattered all around southern Alberta, and obviously as well going to a few Oilers games there at the start, and as well just trying to stay up to date with work as opposed to staying up to date with YouTube, because it's a time of year where a lot of folks are without heat. And I think hearing from the stats from the Calgary Fire Department, quite simply, it's staggering. There are a lot of carbon monoxide poisonings this year in southern Alberta, and that's where, right, when that call comes in that, hey, we need heat, that's not going to poison us. That's where yours truly sometimes comes in. So we'll see how that progresses as we get towards Christmas. Again, friends, I guess to say, make sure your carbon monoxide detector's working. Make sure you've got batteries in it, and make sure to check it early and often throughout the winter. So let's do this. Michael, welcome aboard. Connor McDavid's 1,000 point ceremony up and underway at Rogers Place as the Oilers honor Connor for what has been so far an incredible career as an Edmonton Oiler. And Connor's obviously going out there and getting some well-earned accolades for what has been a historic career, at least in Edmonton Oilers colors. Not too many players have done what Connor's done in Oilers colors, and well, you know what, this evening a little moment to pause and reflect on that as you look back at his draft day and all this going on, and his goals over the years against all these incredible teams and moments that we've watched, right? The goal against Columbus, you watch the goal here against Ottawa, the backhand feed, the top shot, oh my goodness, the absolute daggers that Connor McDavid scored over his career. That jersey just made an appearance there, and that's nice to see. We don't see too many moments of that jersey nowadays, but Connor McDavid's first NHL point back on October 13th, 2015. And then you look at this, scoring tons of goals, and you see Darnell Nurse and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins have the flowers for him. Connor's out there with the old hair in a mess and the beard going on here. 200 points on January 13th, 2018. And 400 points just just over a year later, 2019. And you look at all the different looks Connor McDavid has had in his years with the Oilers. Jessica, welcome aboard. It's fantastic to see all these highlights from back in the day, right? Connor was at 500 points just 3 years ago. That's the incredible part. 3.5 years ago, Connor was there. Rangers versus the Oilers, his incredible moves on November 5th, 2021. That was a really fun night back in the day for me. I got to hang out with a good buddy and enjoy that one. 600 points November 14th, 2021. And then you kind of look through all the other highlights here where Zach Hyman starts creeping in. 700 points on October 2022. And then you kind of look through this one here. 800 points on February 21st, 2023. And you look at just how fast he picked these numbers up. It's incredible. So it's something that we've been this lucky to watch him. January 2nd, 2024. So he did it in less than 11 months or so to get where he got to. And then that goal from Leon Draisaitl over to Connor on the 2-on-1. You look at his dad in the stands looking over there on that one, and he buries it November 14th, 2024. 11 months, 12 days after scoring his 900th. Just incredible to see what our captain has managed to do his whole career here in Edmonton. He brought us within a goal and a half of winning the Stanley Cup last season. And now Connor McDavid waving to the crowd here inside Rogers Place as Leon Draisaitl ready to hop over the boards to give him some flowers. And they've got all kinds of things here. He's got his family, he's got his wife there. And of course there's Lenny on the ice. Lenny's just excited to see Dad in the uniform on the ice there. Mom and Dad as well for Connor. This is a moment you don't get all too often, right? How often does a player score 1,000 points in Oilers uniform nowadays? As Nuge comes over, Draisaitl for some flowers for his wife, and Darnell Nurse giving the hugs to the family members as well. So, big moment here as the Oilers take time to celebrate Connor McDavid. And just absolutely incredible as everybody makes sure to pet Lenny as well. You love to see that. It's Lenny getting all the love on the broadcast as the Oilers will usher in for a photo here. Draisaitl leaves a spot open in the middle for... oh no, they're going to leave a spot open in the middle for the graphic as Mom and Dad are off to the other side. And there you have it. Lenny's facing the other way. That ain't the family dog, I'm telling you. So just like that, friends, we are about to rock and roll. I don't think Connor McDavid's been able to kiss his wife right before dropping the puck for a hockey game in a while. That's a special moment. But here we go. We're going to have an extra moment here. Stan Bowman's going to come out, it looks like, and shake Connor McDavid's hand and present him with a crystal plaque for the achievement of 1,000 points in the Oilers uniform and in his NHL career. So there you have it, as everybody in the stands, standing ovation for Connor. And friends, this is absolutely a moment that, I knew that it was happening today, but I'm glad to be live here this evening. And in terms of an Oilers Community Foundation moment, they're going to donate to the Ben Stelter Foundation, and every kid deserves a shot for 50 grand. Sorry, still gets me all this time later, but the Oilers obviously stepping up in a huge way there for Captain Connor as well, in recognition of a major milestone in the NHL. And here you have it, the stick as well, presented by former agent Jeff Jackson, CEO of President Hockey Operations. Jeff's not in town often, but there it is. As this one will be a moment here as they try to put a thing on Lenny, as I'm not sure who's over there trying to put that bow tie on Lenny, but they're going to try and force it. Lenny's not having it. Lenny's not having it, man. He is not impressed with that bow tie bone. Jeff Jackson and Connor McDavid take their photos together, and that's it. That's all. As Connor adds an impressive trophy to that impressive house of his, and hugs with Mom and Dad before dropping the puck, and away he goes for another game in an Oilers uniform here this evening, as we continue the trend to try and lead us towards what will ultimately be Stanley Cup Finals reappearance for the Oilers if all goes according to plan. So, Oilers time, welcome aboard as we get set for this evening's hockey game. Connor gets back along the blue line alongside Nuge, Ekholm, Hyman, and Bouchard as we get this going here and seeing what the Oilers can achieve for us this evening. As the referees lined up at center ice, we'll have the anthems this evening as Tia G draws in to sing both the American and Canadian anthem, I would assume, this evening, unless Rob Clark's got our Canadian anthem. Not sure exactly what the Oilers have up their sleeves for this evening's hockey game. It's kind of, like I said, feeling out of the loop here so far in the month of December, trying to keep up with the Oilers and kind of trying to keep up with life at the same time. So see where it goes. Nels, welcome aboard as we've got the Columbus Blue Jackets in town, trying to get through what's going to be a good game, I think, this evening for the Oilers if they can score a bunch of goals and get things going. See what happens, obviously. See if the Oilers can get some goal scoring going early and often, as kind of has been the saying so far here in this broadcast this evening. As we're closing in on kind of getting awards puck drop. I know it's 7:12 already, so we're delayed by about 5 minutes to begin things this evening. But we'll eventually get the puck dropped and we'll get things going as you see the Oilers, everybody in the stands getting things going throughout the anthem, and we should be ready to rock and roll for this evening's O Canada. I think we're still on the Star Spangled Banner, so we're really drawing it out here this evening. If you took the over, you got her. As we are now one anthem away. This is what kills me about the two anthem games, friends. I get all amped up, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, we still got two things to go through, so we'll get things going. So, Patrick, good evening to you. Glad to have you back aboard on the live stream. I know it's been a hot minute, but actually it's only been since Saturday since I was last live, isn't it? Isn't that right? But yes, absolutely. Hats off to Patrick for coming aboard live on Dolynny TV for the broadcast of Pack the Pete Purple Night down at the Pete Knight Memorial Arena in Crossfield on Saturday. That was a special night to be a part of. Patrick will say the exact same, and we ended up being able to broadcast what was a really good, fun hockey game. There was a 4-1 final score for Red Deer, but overall both goalies hung their team around all game, and it was just ultimately who was getting the pucks to go in the net, and that was Red Deer that night. Shaylin, what's the score? It's on the screen, not started yet. Nobody has scored a hockey game, so we are not even underway. So we'll see what happens here this evening for the Edmonton Oilers once the puck does drop. We're kind of struggling in that department here so far this evening. Still waiting for the anthems to finish. Draisaitl is absolutely annoyed by the looks of it here. He's a little upset by the looks as he looked away from the ice and kind of disgruntled look towards the crowd. So as everybody echoes those same sentiments in the building, I'm sure. The anthems are done. Jack Michaels is on our television sets for the audio side as we get ready for tonight's evening action. Potential $1 million winner. Wouldn't that be something? Craig Berry of Edmonton, Alberta has a chance. Hopefully it all works out for Craig. I mean, if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So let's see what happens here as we get things going towards puck drop. We've got Daniil Tarasov in net for the Columbus Blue Jackets. 3-4-1 record, 404 goals against average, 861 save percentage. So either he's lights out tonight or the Edmonton Oilers absolutely dummy him. Who knows? We'll see what happens. As Calvin Pickard, 5-3-0 record, 250 goals against average, and an 895 save percentage. So again, tonight, if you get a good effort from Picks, don't waste it. Make it mean something, because it's been tough for the Oilers. So when you've got a goalie with 250 goals against average and he's got a 5-3 record for you, that should be 8-0. As here comes Connor McDavid into the face-off dot against Fantilli. He wins the draw back to the far side wing. Screen goes blue for a minute. Oop, that's an error as the puck's behind the Columbus net. Out to the blue line it goes. Bouchard unable to gather it. Ekholm inside his own zone bounces it to the blue line, right on to Tarasov off the board bounce at the blue line of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Far side boards, backhanded ahead by Columbus, and it's thrown down deep inside Oilers territory. Looks like everybody's going to try and get things going as Ekholm tries to put it on the tape for McDavid. He's absolutely blitzing up the ice. Ekholm tries to feed it through the middle. That one just doesn't work at the Blue Jackets blue line, and back the other way. Here's Columbus again. You know, they quickly struck against the Oilers a few times in that first game, and the shot on net, Pickard was absolutely scrambled around, but the Oilers avoid disaster, and here comes Kapanen, the second line already on the ice for the Oilers. Kapanen, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, getting worked over there is Kapanen trying to feed the puck down low. Free along the end wall was Draisaitl. He shakes off a check, backhands it into danger. There's Nurse coming away with it. Kapanen, a backhand on net, gets the shot. The Oilers passed it to the middle and shot the puck. You like to see that. And there you have it. A shot on net, at least to start the hockey game, on Daniil Tarasov, as that first one dangerous there for Columbus, as that puck just trickled past a stick, and Kapanen, right place, right time to tie up the tape of Sean Monahan, or he had a little bit of an easy tap in on the left-hand side of Calvin Pickard. The face-off inside the Columbus Blue Jackets zone now, as Melon, welcome aboard as we'll get this going here. Face-off down. Unable to win it there was Kapanen. Shot off the boards into the neutral zone. Oilers gather up. Nurse has got it. Nurse pivots and kind of lost control of the puck. And here the Oilers will start away 3-on-2 with a man trailing for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Podkolzin, far side pass, takes a bounce off a skate. Spun around Kapanen up with the puck. Nurse, the shot from the point. Makes it through on route by Podkolzin, whacking at it. Here's now Kulak through traffic. Shot off the glove of Tarasov. Might not have ever hit the net just based on that bounce it took, as this one's going to stick off into the neutral zone off the Oilers. Here's Emerson trying to feed a pass through again. The Oilers pass up another good looking opportunity, and here's now the Columbus Blue Jackets back the other way. Shot save, Pickard. Rebound goes wide off a body, and the Oilers start back again 3-on-3. Firing it down low. Henrique's taken out by a sealed wall there of one of the Columbus Blue Jackets defenders. Henrique, though, ultimately picks up the puck, throws it away down low. Skinner getting in there, winning a battle. Haven't said that much this year. Over to Emerson near side point. He'll play down off the right wing. Here's Janmark to the blue line. Emerson backed off. That allows Columbus to rim it inside the Oilers' territory, far side. Emerson throws the body, just didn't have the angle, and then throws a couple of whacks with the old double hands with the cross check and doesn't get called for it. So that allows Columbus, though, to ultimately come up with the puck. The one-timer, yeah, that's an expected result. The Oilers just chase the Blue Jackets around their zone for a good 15 seconds, and the puck ends up in the back of the net on the second shot of the night for the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's 1-0, 17:29 to go in this first period of play. That was about as expected of a result. I just, you could hear it in my voice there on the commentary. I could hear it coming, and a double deflection off a couple of legs goes past Pickard to the back of the net. If that ain't the Oilers' story of the past several years when it comes to, having good starts, I don't know what is. It goes off Janmark's stick, off of a leg, and it goes to the back of the net. So there you have it. The Blue Jackets up 1-0. The Oilers, they had a chance down the wing there with Emerson on the ice to shoot the puck. He chose to pass to the middle, and it ends up in the back of the net the other way. If that's, again, dictating how it's been this year, I don't know. I don't know more truer stories. Here's Columbus across the line. Sillinger fires a puck to the middle. It goes to the far side. Columbus playing it back down low against the wall. Along the end wall it goes, battle in there. The Oilers trying to come up with this puck. Nice move by Kulak to ultimately come up with it. Perry, though, with the turnover high as Johnson plays it across the blue line. And here we go, a shot from the point again, blocked in front. And this one will be picked up by Derek Ryan, who's hustling up the ice, cutting to the middle, far side pass. The shot ripped, goes wide of the net. LeBlanc with his second of the season. Piazza with his first assist, and Werenski with his fifth. It's been tough times in Columbus. Who's scoring all the goals? So here's Ekholm down the right wing, pass to the middle again instead of throwing it in the goalie's feet to the middle of the ice. Lucky to keep that puck alive inside the offensive zone. Hyman goes down. McDavid on the ice now, trying to change the direction of things here, down 1-0. Ekholm fires the shot through traffic, blocked in front here, and this is going to go back up the middle of the ice, and this will come back the other way. Hyman down the right wing. Hyman shoots up off a body, it looks like. I don't think that even hit the net, and we've got a call up coming against Columbus here, and that will be a power play for the Edmonton Oilers. McDavid and Draisaitl will get a chance to stay out there, but MD, when it comes to the overall goaltending battle, I will tell you for almost sure the Oilers will lose this game because Tarasov's starting. When you've got a backup goalie playing bad for the opposing team, that usually doesn't end well for the Edmonton Oilers. So Voronkov goes to the box for interference. 16:04 to go. The Oilers power play needs to get going early and often here tonight too. 17.7% on the season, ranked tied for 22nd in the NHL, and they just are losing that battle along the boards. Thankfully, Bouchard keeps it alive and then immediately turns it over and it's fired down the ice. So the Oilers power play has been basically overall percentage-wise 1 for 7 on home ice this season. So this is going to be played back now for Draisaitl. Draisaitl is going to carry across the line to Hyman. Hyman's got the puck inside the offensive zone, but the Blue Jackets come up with it and fire it down the ice all the way to Calvin Pickard, who will come up with that puck. And now all of a sudden my internet's struggling a little bit. Here's welcome to it, right? Welcome to the old rural Wi-Fi in the wintertime. Here's McDavid right down the lane, tries to fire the puck through 3 men, can't do it. Puck's tipped out of the zone by an Oilers player off the Dashers, and this is going to go back inside. The Blue Jackets just standing around and killing this penalty for a minute already. This is, again, a frustration with the Oilers power play that has persisted throughout the season. It's been a tough thing to watch most of the year, and still this one, 55 seconds to go, really hasn't given us much to believe in, as that puck goes wide of the net off a board bounce right in front, but nobody was home for the Oilers despite the odd man advantage. And 14:46 to go here in this first period of play. Nurse is going to go back to the point for Skinner. Skinner walks the line, continues to walk, tees up the shot, tipped in front. Perry got the tip down, couldn't get it into the back of the net. Here's Ekholm. Ekholm's going to skate the line himself now, fire the shot over to Skinner. Now the one-timer, Ekholm blasted in front, blocked in front, and all the way down to Calvin Pickard. And this just, already out of the gate, the Oilers making all the same mistakes they do every single night in, night out this season. And everyone's like, why aren't you positive this year? Well, I'll tell you, it's been hard to be positive when you watch the Oilers do the same things to very mixed results this year overall. As the power play now over, 14 minutes to go in this first period of play. Draisaitl backhands it off the referee's skates, turns the puck over again. Puck fired right in front. Here's Columbus backhanded, blocked in front. As Pickard didn't even have to make a save that time, and across the line, the Oilers are ultimately going to skate now with a different looking line set because of the penalty just killed by Columbus. Breakaway pass here, the Oilers give it up. Emerson caught again. Save made by Pickard, though, bailing us out with a pad save on that one. Thankfully so, as this puck goes to the far side. Draisaitl will go off for a line change. 13:28 to go in this first period in what has been another uninspired, apathetic performance so far for the Oilers this evening. Is, I mean, Calvin Pickard has 2 saves on 3 shots and a pinball beat him. So tough issue tonight, as this one's coming back the other way for Troy Stetcher. So he's trying to get up the ice in a hurry, can't do it. 4th line on the ice here for the Oilers. Ryan out there chasing down a body, and ultimately the Oilers keep it in. Nurse fires it off the blocker, Tarasov, who's now up to 6 saves in tonight's hockey game, I think 5 or 6, and the Oilers are offside, touching a puck they did not need to touch. So it's been a brutal start here at home again, as it has been multiple times this season. The Oilers are 5-6-1 at home, so you think about all the wins they've racked up on the road, right? 8-4-1 on the road. That's a pretty dang good record. You have that at home too. Suddenly you're winning lots of hockey games, but that's not quite been the story of the season so far this year. We got 12:51 to go in a 1-0 hockey game for the Columbus Blue Jackets here in this evening's action. Friends, welcome aboard. If you're just tuning in, thanks for being aboard. I will tell you, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. Love to have you aboard. I know we're sitting at 17,125 entering tonight's action, so definitely see where that leads us to by the end of this evening, as seems like a couple of you have clicked over there on the lyrics mess around that I'm doing here on the channel nowadays, trying to bolster the video roster in a different way outside of the Oilers content. So thank you for all those tuning into that here this evening since I put that up at the top of the chat. But yeah, we're rocking and rolling here this evening, friends. It's been a lackluster hockey game so far, if I'm being honest, but what are you expecting, right? It's the Oilers against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the Blue Jackets are playing their backup goaltenders, so not much really to expect from the Oilers on that front. Again, if you haven't also left a like on the stream yet, definitely make sure to do that. Would appreciate you definitely doing that for me if you can. And as we go here, we're going to take a second here. Penalty kill this season. Last 10 games, the Oilers penalty kill is at 95.5%. So we've been absolutely dominating the last 10 games. So we'll see what happens here with that. As Lenny's getting some love out there for the Oilers. Lenny's been on the plane. Lenny's been all over the place for the Oilers over the course of his career. And we'll ultimately see what the Oilers can do this evening. Connor McDavid drawing into the face-off dot. Zach Hyman back out there for the Oilers as the flip through the neutral zone is going to try and land on Hyman's skates. It's not going to work as McDavid instead feeds Nuge, who again tries to pass to an on-streaking Hyman instead of shooting the puck from in tight. So the Oilers, they might have 6 shots, but they got nothing really to show for it. The best opportunity so far this hockey game, a tip shot from Corey Perry on a point shot from Jeff Skinner of all people on the power play. So here we go. McDavid to go along the left wing, ultimately able to help win a board battle, and now Matthias Ekholm's going to chip it out center ice for McDavid. McDavid across to the far side for Nugent Hopkins. Nuge will pivot back. Nuge will play it down now for McDavid. McDavid along the left wing inside the Columbus zone turns the puck over rather lazily, and then the puck comes back into the neutral zone for Evan Bouchard, who will pick it up and decide something to do with it here to the far side. Inside the Oilers territory. Bouchard near side now as they just play pitch and catch a million times inside the Oilers territory as they're trying to figure this puck out, but not to much success as Fabro, 3 goals, 6 points in the last 9 games. Who's scoring all the points for Columbus? I guess Dante Fabro, as this one's going to be picked up, fired down inside Columbus's territory. That's going to be tipped away from the Edmonton Oilers as it'll be fired down. Again, the Oilers come up with this puck. Jeff Skinner to the middle of the ice. Puck to Matthias Janmark as we see the third line get a full shift here to begin tonight's action at the middle part of the frame. 11:26 to go in a 1-0 Columbus hockey game as Pickard picks up the puck out of midair, and then he's forced by Monahan to freeze the puck in his gloves. So we continue along here this evening in what has been an uninspired effort from the Edmonton Oilers so far this evening. Again, at some point I expect the Oilers to come out just busting out 4-0, 5-0 in the first period, but it just continues to not happen this season. Expectations too high on my part, or are the Oilers just not working hard enough? You tell me. This team is not worse than last year, I will tell you that. As the shot fired, blocked in traffic, picked up by Podkolzin. Podkolzin darting around behind the net, picked up now by Kulak. He'll board bounce it out of the zone. So my nose goes itching really crazy there as this is going to be fired down inside the Oilers territory here, down behind the net. That is going to be out of the corner. Draisaitl to Kapanen. Far side, puck rolled over there now for one of the Oilers players as that's tipped out of the zone by Columbus, and the Oilers are just failing to connect here tonight, Peyton, as you watch your Columbus Blue Jackets make us look lazy and uninspired as this one's going to be flipped again by the Oilers into the middle of the ice. Turnover at center by Columbus after gathering that puck up. Here's Kapanen down the wing, firing it in behind the net. Here's Podkolzin now coming to the puck. He can't come up with it. It'll be flipped to the blue line, to the middle of the ice, and then all the way down inside the Oilers territory for an icing call. Blue Jackets and Oilers now tied at 6 shots apiece, but oh boy, man, this game has not been pretty at all, and it looks like Mathieu Olivier has a little something to gripe about as his hand looks a little hurting or something here going on the bench. I'm not sure what that's all about, but I guess we'll find out as the Oilers ultimately, it looks like maybe caught him with a stick in the hand in a sensitive spot. The Oilers fail to win the face-off inside the Oilers' offensive zone. So here's Connor McDavid, though, dangling around. Shot, scores! Zach Hyman's back in just like that. I did not even understand how Connor McDavid was able to get around all those guys. It looked like my TV was glitching, but that was just video game moves from Connor McDavid in tight. And the Edmonton Oilers score. And Connor McDavid picks up a point on his 1,000-point celebration night as Zach Hyman back in Oilers threads, able to bring us alive on that one. Connor just pushed through that face-off. And look at that one, ultimately got it back to Connor McDavid and then kind of fought it over through two guys over to Zach Hyman, who punches it glove hand side, or is that blocker hand side, sorry, on Tarasov. And ultimately, there you go. Zach Hyman scores the goal that brings us to life here. Now we only need 2 more and 10 more minutes, and this Oilers game is going to be off to a roaring start after a rather lackluster first 9 minutes and 45 seconds, if I'm truthfully telling you the story. As this one's down behind the net now, the Oilers have life all of a sudden. Troy Stecher, though, trying to give it away behind the net. Darnell Nurse, their 4th goal this season for Zach Hyman, who you knew was going to score tonight based on finally being healthy. Battle won there by Connor Brown, or sorry, whoever that is, to get to that puck. And it looks like the Oilers at home picked up another point on that one as this the blue line shot fired through traffic, tipped in front and onto the pad of Tarasov, and it's going to go to the far hand side and fired across the line. Here now is Fantilli working it on net, backhanded towards Picard, up over top of the net. And the Oilers thankfully scoring a goal here in this hockey game, in which was starting to get away from them a little bit in terms of the effort level and what was being a little lackluster, if I'm being honest with you. So here we go. Let's go here and see where the Oilers were at. It was Zach Hyman, Connor McDavid, Evan Bouchard, with the pass. So Bouchard picks up another point. He continues to lead this Oilers team in defensive scoring, which is huge. Bouchard's helping you tonight as opposed to hurting you. And everybody loves to see that, don't they? So life is okay again as an Oilers fan for the time being anyway, as we've got ourselves a 1-1 hockey game, friends. We're at 35 hours watched on the stream, so we'll see what happens here. But, Michael, I will tell you, the Oilers, they're defending just fine over the past 10 games. If you don't score more than 3 goals a hockey game, you're not going to win many hockey games in the NHL regular season. That's just the case. It's not 2006 where you can score 2 goals, sit on a lead, and win because the goalies have £1 million of gear. So again, the Oilers defense has been fine. The penalty kills first in the league over the last 10 games. Things have been fine defensively. We need to start scoring goals. Averaging 2.88 a game is not acceptable with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on your teams. So that is where I'm going to tell you the Oilers need to step up and start scoring goals in bunches here. And if the defense can help contribute to that, that would be fantastic, because the Oilers, I think, are the highest scoring team from the blue line. So think if the blue line wasn't scoring goals, what would be happening there? So I desperately tell you, goal scoring is going to solve a lot of the Oilers' issues here over the next several weeks. As the Oilers obviously have to get things going here. Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusk probably breaking that down right now on the television broadcast for the Edmonton Oilers, as the Oilers look to keep things going with Zach Hyman rolling back onto the ice for another shift here. Connor McDavid inside the offensive zone, trying to take a draw that'll maybe lead to a goal here. Or is he in the defensive zone? Man, I got fooled. I definitely thought he was in the offensive zone. That's my bad. As Marchenko will come in to take the draw for the Blue Jackets. The Oilers win it forward. Hyman gets a perfect board bounce on a set play by the looks of it here. Here's Nuge passing up a puck to the back side of the net for Connor McDavid. Again, I get the Oilers drew up that play, but you got to be kidding me there. We got to start shooting the puck again here in certain situations, as 8 shots on goal. Bouchard walking the line. Bouchard down low over to McDavid. McDavid rolling through the middle of the ice. Here's McDavid over to the far side, picked up by Ekholm, as this one goes back behind, and this is to the point Bouchard gets it going. So this Bouchard to the middle of the ice. Hyman down low, 8:48 to go here in this first period of play, as the puck over now for Monahan, who will flip up into the neutral zone. There's picking up. How about this? Nugent Hopkins over back inside his own zone. Things slowing down. All of a sudden, Bouchard getting it going here. And 8:30 to go in this first period of play. Bouchard will rip it up the ice. And Ryan will get it over now with help. Here's Perry and everybody getting involved. Brown across the line. Emerson firing this one back behind. Here's now Perry dragging in a spinorama fashion to try and score on Tarasov. Good little move. Just couldn't do it. 8:12 to go. And this puck comes back the other way, fired down by Provorov to Mr. Calvin Pickard, who again touches that puck, makes it interesting inside the Oilers zone. Perry trying to skate his way into neutral territory, couldn't do it. And this puck comes back in for Pickard. 6-1 road loss for the Oilers against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Shots fired down by Kulak. All the way down now. Here's Tarasov picking it up back to the blue line, and Kulak sees that puck escape zone. Stetcher sees it bounce off the tape of, I believe, Corrali there. And this one comes back to the near side as it's picked up by Stetcher. Stetcher goes over to the far side for Draisaitl. Draisaitl made a man fall to the ice, making a move there. Here's Stetcher, the shot from the point. Deflected just wide, or missed just wide. A seeing eye shot that just couldn't find the twine. 7:20 to go here in this first period of play. Puck over to the far side, and this one comes back now near side point. And this will be picked up by Draisaitl. Draisaitl across the line. Draisaitl will pick up to the middle. Here's Nurse, the shot fired, save made. Tarasov, who continues to make saves and now climbs above 900 on the night as he goes right to that even 900. So 6:55 to go in this first period of play. Columbus to the near side, makes the pass out of the zone through the middle, carried to the far side blue line of the Edmonton Oilers. Puck inside Oilers territory, down behind the goal now, near side corner. Oilers trying to come up with this. Bouchard, nice little play to throw the pick, and then a man falls down in Sillinger, and Skinner falls on right on top of him as it comes back up now to the far side. As this one comes picked up by the Oilers to the middle of the ice. Nice play by Janmark to get it onto the tape by Henrique. He's going to shoot that puck. Thank goodness somebody off the wing did. And it's now tapped back inside the Oilers zone off the save for Tarasov. The Oilers will continue to play the puck here. 6:15 to go in this one. So here we go. McDavid through the middle of the ice over to Nugent Hopkins. Nuge fires a shot down low. It wasn't intended to be a shot. It was intended to be a pass. And ultimately it comes back the other way. So here we go. Across the line. Shot fired up over top on a blocked shot for the Oilers. Coming back the other way. Hyman can't get through the middle there. And this is going to be fired back inside Oilers territory. Picked up. Columbus fires it off a leg and out of play. So there you have it. A stoppage in play. And you have it right there. So that will do it. But yeah, the Oilers still kind of struggling at times to get the shots on net when they should. And so far, you know, a 1-1 game, which is not an effort that we can't write something positive about. But man, the Oilers have passed up 2, 3, 4, 5 shots this game already that would have generated some rebounds. As we're talking about maybe them spilling out here. But yeah, the Oilers need results here tonight, and so far haven't gotten much in the way of results. So we'll see how that carries through as the night rolls on. Like I said, they need to score a bunch of goals here this evening. And right now we got 5:42 to go in this first period of play, and we only have one on the board to begin tonight's action. So stay tuned, I guess, see what happens. Plenty of time for something to happen yet, but the Oilers desperately do need to make sure they score a bunch of goals tonight. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If the Oilers score a bunch of goals, we'll be good. Yeah, because if you score 3 goals this season as the Edmonton Oilers, you're pretty much guaranteed to win the hockey game. Just saying. So, as I spill all over myself, what an idiot. All right. Let's see what we can do here, friends. Again, the first goal of the night scored by Kevin Labanc. The second goal of the night, Zach Hyman's 4th of the season from Connor McDavid and Evan Bouchard. So McDavid adds to his totals, Bouchard adds to his totals, and Zach Hyman continues, now that he's back, to rebound from early season struggles, where I will guarantee you all 20 of the games he skated in, he was fighting something the whole time. So nice to see Hyman back, as Ace said, to full power, and get it going in that way. So let's see what Dean Evason's squad for the Columbus Blue Jackets has in store. First season as Columbus Blue Jackets head coach. We definitely thought Jay Woodcroft was going there for a time, and that ultimately didn't end up being true. This puck bounces all the way back in, and I shouldn't have scratched my nose. Went upstairs, before Gene hit the television set to pet the cat on the way up the stairs, and now all of a sudden look at my nose going itching after touching it. So here we go, friends. Back the other way, the Columbus Blue Jackets inside the Oilers territory. Nice play there by Pickard to get it to the far side boards and allow the defense to get to work here. So this is coming along the end wall. Trying to battle there is Derek Ryan and Darnell Nurse and the whole crew. It'll be worked back to the point, backhanded across to the far side. Oilers will bat it back to the blue line. Picked up there. Down low it goes to Stetcher. 4:59 to go in the first period of play, as the Oilers desperately need to get the job done here in the last 5 and get a lead going into the first period of play. EOF, welcome aboard as we go here to the far side. Backhanded through the middle of the neutral zone. The Oilers are miserably offside on that terrible zone entry with 4:41 to go in this first period of play. And yeah, we got to see the Oilers just getting gear here, right? I mean, you scored the goal. That should get you going. And now you should get things rolling here, at least in terms of maybe generating some more shots. You've got 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. You can easily finish this with a 15-shot period. So the Oilers just have to choose to shoot the puck. They could be at 20 shots here this first period if they would have chose to shoot the puck a couple of times already. So this one to the middle of the ice. Columbus picked off a pass to Leon Draisaitl, ended up firing it inside the Oilers territory. Back near side, the Columbus Blue Jackets are just whipping it around. You can smell a goal here. Sillinger somehow denied in tight by Pickard. That's a huge save as the Columbus Blue Jackets continue to roll around the Oilers zone. Nice play there by Kapanen. Again, he's had an active stick tonight and kind of denied the Blue Jackets on a couple of chances, and that puck's ultimately going to work out to Podkolzin, who's got Kapanen down the right wing. Kapanen instead chooses to shoot it into the corner around to the far side for Henrique. Henrique's going to play it down low to Skinner. Skinner's got a chance. He's going to drive the net right in front. Got a shot on, and then the Oilers mucked it up in the blue paint, and Henrique might have tapped it off the pads of Tarasov, and then he's trying to pick the pocket of his fellow number 19 as that puck bled all the way into the Oilers zone. A good looking shift there from the third line as they got a couple of chances in tight on the near side post, and at least the work rate is getting things going here in this first period late, as you like to see it. So here we go. This one down inside Columbus territory, I think for an icing call. So we'll wait to get things back underway. But yeah, that was definitely awesome to see as the Oilers, you know, they survived that dangerous chance, and it's Brett Kulak and Ty Emberson on this game so far that have been really hurting the Oilers defensively. So if they can kind of correct that in the intermission, that'd be really kind of nice of them, as we got 3:22 to go in this first period of play. The Oilers not officially credited with a shot on net on either the Skinner or Henrique opportunity. Again, that's the shady part about the NHL stats. I'm really not sure how that all works out. But Connor McDavid's going to draw in for this face-off draw. And this is now going to be one back to Bouchard, who lifts out to center ice. Hyman tries to head it. Quite literally tried to head that puck. That's a dangerous ordeal when you're wearing a visor trying to head a puck. But hey, each to their own. As this puck comes down near side, puck's going to lift it into the neutral. Columbus retains inside their own zone to the far side. Columbus is going to tap it up off the boards. The Oilers make a quick play in the neutral zone to deny the zone entry, as my tongue kind of got twisted up there. But the Oilers, Connor McDavid's going to lift it across the blue line to Bouchard here, who could have tried a little harder, but the Oilers able to keep it in nonetheless. And this one is going to come back inside the Oilers territory, as you see that right there to the far side boards. The Oilers able to pick it up and now start away. Connor McDavid on a bumper pass there from Bouchard. McDavid through the middle, trying to do a little too much, gives up the puck, and Columbus was able to get it back out into the middle of the ice. As here's Ekholm. This game's really slow. I mean, it's been, since the Oilers scored, things have slowed right back down to uninspired from the Oilers so far this evening, feeling out the Blue Jackets. For what reason, I'm not entirely sure, as they're trying to make the perfect play here. An onside play to Draisaitl. Draisaitl looking to make the pass there. Bumper play now to Podkolzin. Podkolzin with the puck back to the blue line. Nice play down low here near side corner. Back to the point. Picked up by Kulak. Leaving it now for, I believe that's Nugent Hopkins, or is that Podkolzin? Sorry, I always confuse those two now. The shot from Nurse swallows up Tarasov. He gave up a big time rebound, and the Oilers just unable to find anybody in the middle. So this comes down near side. $1:34 to go in this first period of play. Perry sees it to the middle of the ice, and the Oilers are going to be able to escape the danger as this comes back for Perry and Kulak on a 2-on-2 rush. Perry finds nobody in the middle. He's going to find it down low. It'll battle there. McDavid unable to come up with that puck and lifted back inside the Oilers zone. It's going to be left there for Bouchard as the Oilers get their legs moving here on a zone exit as Bouchard carries it to the far side boards. I think that's Ekholm to the middle to Hyman, tapped on to the glove of Tarasov, who throws it on the ice and ices it down. So yeah, that's where it is. So we have the stoppage in play. But yeah, the Oilers, yeah, they have what 10, 11 shots in this game, but desperately needing to get a couple more here in the late stages. 11 shots now, 1 minute to go in the first period of play. If they can find a way to score a last-minute goal, that'd be fantastic. You know, there's that last-minute power play probably upcoming the way this first period's gone, and especially Columbus's luck sometimes as they are going to fire this one off the short side of Pickard. Rebound right in front of the net on the regather by Columbus as here's Sillinger firing over to the far side. The shot in front. There's a penalty upcoming to the Oilers, and they will be whistled down immediately. So instead it's Columbus with the late period power play. And yeah, old Chris Knobloch can't believe it there. With 39.2 seconds to go in the first period, Ekholm goes to the box, I believe, for slashing as he broke a stick in front, right on down on Fantilli, trying to tip it in front as he looks up at the ref like, what the heck do you want me to do? Ekholm takes the slashing call, and we will get things going here for a Columbus power play to begin the final 39 seconds of the first period, carrying over to begin the second period of play. So Columbus looking to get things done. 72.1%, ranked 29th on the penalty kill are the Edmonton Oilers. Somehow, someway, other teams are picking it up, even though we're first in the penalty kill department over the last how many ever games. That's how awful we were earlier this season. As the puck goes off a stick, up and out of play, Werenski unable to get the pass through, and now we'll have another face-off with 28.8 seconds to go here in this first period of play. But yeah, that one was that a pivotal block there by, I think, Adam Henrique off his tape, where Werenski tried to feed the pass through. It went up off the blade note, as Henrique has 25 blocks this season. Good for the Oilers. 28.8 seconds to go. The Columbus Blue Jackets 3 for 13 in their last 6 games on the power play, as we'll get things going face-off down. And they've forgotten the player marker on Henrique here, or they've highlighted Henrique for some reason. And this comes back low now to Tarasov, picked up Werenski on the play. To the middle of the ice, Johnson carries through to the far side blue line on a pass. We got 11 seconds to go in this first period of play. Giving up goal here would be an absolute disaster class for the Oilers in what has been a really uninspired, unurgent played first period. But the block shot in front gets it going, and then Emerson throws a couple of shots at a much bigger dude, and that will do it. For a lackluster first period of play, that was definitely seen better over the Edmonton Oilers. That much is for sure, friends. After one period of play, it is the Columbus Blue Jackets. It is the Edmonton Oilers tied at 1 apiece. The block shots dead even. The face-offs in favor of the Oilers. Shots in favor of the Oilers. Hits in favor of the Oilers. Giveaways in favor of the Oilers. Takeaways in favor of the Blue Jackets. 1-1, LeBanc and Hyman, your goal scorers so far this evening here on tonight's broadcast. So, friends, yeah, that is where we get things going this evening. Rory, welcome aboard. David, welcome aboard. And Action Stack, welcome aboard if I missed you earlier. I'm going to take a quick time out, head upstairs. Friends, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I encourage you to do that. And check out that pinned chat at the top if you want to see what I've been messing around with outside of your vision on YouTube. All right, friends, let's do this. To the intermission report we go. We've got Ben Stelter's family on the television sets right now, getting us rolling for the intermission report with Gene Principe talking about their good friend Connor McDavid and his 1,000-point achievements, but also his contributions to making sure Ben's legacy stays intact. So that is where we are at. But yeah, obviously it has been a uneventful hockey game so far for the Edmonton Oilers. A really lackluster first period in terms of, you don't need to take Columbus that badly. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. So the Oilers hopefully get something going here in this hockey game's second period. I mean, they gotta get things going because that was not great. Faye, welcome aboard. I don't think I've missed anyone else. Have I? CGE, welcome in. Christine, I missed you earlier, but I think I got you along the way somewhere here. As yeah, it's honestly, to recap, it's not much has happened. Kevin LeBanc scored a goal off a pinball redirection 2 times over, and then Zach Hyman on a beauty of a play and then feed from Connor McDavid and Evan Bouchard scores the tying goal. Outside of that, the Oilers passed up about 5-6 shots in that period and just really didn't play with the urgency that you need to have a game that means something against a team like the Columbus Blue Jackets. So yeah, that was tough to watch at most of the time in that period. Really, the first minute for the Oilers was good. Power play was like it has been all year. And then from there, the Oilers really never stepped into it or stepped up from it all period long. So yeah, that's where we're at. But yeah, hopefully for the Oilers, they can kind of get things going here. Yeah. Is there anything here? Don't think there's anything else to really bring down situations for the Oilers. I think everything pertaining. Carolina beats Colorado again. Colorado's just same boat as us, really missing the expectations mark. They've had a lot more to do with injury history than we have this season. Jets 3-2 over the Sabres in overtime. Kraken 4-2 over the Islanders with 3 minutes to go in the third. Blue Jackets Oilers end of the first 1-1. The Oilers opponent, I'm sure coming up here right away, I think what is it, a few days from now, if I'm not mistaken, if I've got my schedule right. The Blues over the Flames 2-1 at the end of one. Panthers beat the Flyers 7-5. That game ends up being a blowout style, old school, a little bit shootout there a bit. 2-1 Senators over the Red Wings. Red Wings just continue to find ways to not win hockey games. 3-0 for the Canadiens over the Predators, who again find ways to lose hockey games as well. 5-3 over the Avalanche for the Hurricanes. The Avalanche again failing to win. And the Lightning beat up on the Sharks handily 8-1 in that period. So that is where we are at this current moment, I guess you could say. So yeah, hopefully for the Oilers, they decide to pick up their socks a bit here in this second period and get to work, because the work rate in that first period was not very great. Friends, just give me a second here. Fun joys of getting the mustache back is hairs are out of place. Give me a sec to go deal with that. All right, there we go. We should be good. We should be good to rock and roll here. Hopefully survive the old itchy nose situation from, of course, the mustache coming back and the cats. It's all connected. You know how it goes. But yeah, the Oilers desperately need to get a victory here this evening. As I agree with you, Panda, it's simply in the best interest of everybody if the Edmonton Oilers win tonight's hockey game. That's really the only way to put it. If the Oilers can indeed win tonight, things will get things going. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, ultimately for the Oilers, we've got Craig McTavish back on the broadcast here for the Oilers alongside Gene Principe. Good to see. And Rory, what happened about the Buffalo-Colorado game? Again, if you're talking about Colorado coming back against Buffalo, we got to remember it's Buffalo, right? There's nobody that's been a bigger laughingstock in the NHL outside of the Edmonton Oilers over the past 15, 20 years than the Buffalo Sabres, right? That's the only thing. So that's the tough part for that. But yeah, ultimately, there's a bunch of teams in the NHL that are just finding ways to not win hockey games, and Detroit is in a world of hurt. I'll tell you that much. There's a lot of panic amongst fans in the Detroit area of hockey, that's for sure. So Derek Ryan was loving that Lenny wouldn't put the bow tie on, but ultimately Connor McDavid's ceremony went off without a hitch. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, where are we at? I don't even know what's going on. Let me get back to the Oilers game, see if they've updated the stats. Through 20, it doesn't look like it. 12-9 the shots on goal still. 9-6 the faceoffs for the Oilers, so they have updated that. 5-2 the hits for the Oilers over Columbus, and pretty much everything else is dead even. Giveaways are within one, so we won't worry too much about that. And block shots are 6 apiece here after one period of play. Ultimately, 2 here this evening. If the Oilers don't win, you got to start figuring out what happens, because this is not make it or break it game, but this is definitely a decision making game, because you now have Hyman back, right? So your forward lines are back to 12 forwards total. You should have Arvidsson back sometime in the next 10 years. So I'd assume that the next few games, now that Hyman's back and you're back to rolling 4 lines in a consistent manner, you're going to figure out what happens with potentially a guy that, we figure out if Derek Ryan gets sent down, if Corey Perry, who knows what happens with him. There's going to have to be some tough decisions made around the Edmonton Oilers' bottom forwards, and Matthias Janmark's kept his spot. Connor Brown's adds an element that you like in the bottom 6. Adam Henrique's obviously staying there, but that fourth line, you can start asking some questions of Corey Perry and Derek Ryan in terms of, do we have somebody cheaper that could add a different element that those guys aren't necessarily bringing night in, night out. So looking forward to seeing where those decisions ultimately lead us over the next little bit. Drake Caggiula filling in the limited capacity that he was given to do the job. I didn't mind him. Nice to see a guy work his way back around with the Oilers, but ultimately Drake Caggiula's no solution at all. So I just want to see, did I miss Drake being sent down at all? That's one thing I didn't have a chance to check today. I don't know if Drake was sent down, but 1-1 after 1 is the score right now. Let's see, we got things rolling backwards through this. Or did I miss it yesterday? Zach Hyman's back. Chris Knobloch, game notes. Don't miss Connor McDavid. Zach Hyman, pregame ceremony. Zach Hyman, Oilers headquarters thing. Don't think there's anything there. Game day. Yeah, there's tons of tweets for the Oilers. And I don't even know if they've sent Drake Caggiula down officially. I don't think that happened. I don't think that happened yesterday either. No, the Oilers did actually loan Drake Caggiula to the Bakersfield Condors. All right, that was back on December 3rd. So that was following the loss to Vegas. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, I definitely missed that somewhere in the works. And that was back on December 3rd. So there you have it. So hopefully the Oilers figure out a way to stay healthy now once you get Victor Arvidsson back and we start getting back to a good routine of scoring goals with forwards in the lineup that know how to score goals. That, I think, is a simple way to put it. So yeah, see what happens. But what else do we have? Do we have anything else missed? I don't think we are. Yeah, we are good to rock and roll for what should be a obviously better second period. I mean, it honestly, other than giving up goals, can't be much worse than that first period for the Oilers if they expect to win tonight's hockey game. So tough overall look for the Oilers in that first period of play. I definitely expected more out of them, and they definitely did not deliver much in the way of productivity in that first period. That Zach Hyman goal was absolutely beautiful. Let's not mistake that, but it was really a tough scene out there for the Oilers in terms of urgency and direction on net and all that. So we'll see what they decide to do. But Connor McDavid ready to get things going for his celebration night, as Connor's mom will join Gene Principe up in the interview booth to kind of get things going for a solid intermission fitted in interview before we get things back to action on the ice. Looks like the guys are on the ice right now, so we should be back to game action here in a matter of moments, as it was a big old ceremony before the game. If you're just tuning in, Connor McDavid getting things going for the Edmonton Oilers in terms of the celebration this evening, 1,000th point, all that good stuff. And again, friends, I'll tell you right now, if you haven't already hit the like button on the stream, that's the one thing I'll encourage you to do before we get things up and underway. Obviously, I don't think I've heard anybody complain about how the ads are working on the stream, so I'm liking to see that that's been going well here for you on the back end of your side. So yeah, I think we are set up for what should be a very exciting finish to tonight's action if the Oilers choose to show up here in this second period of play. So see what happens as Connor McDavid chewing on that mouth guard there and getting ready for this one, and see what we can do. Is there's Connor McDavid on the bench to start this third period as Adam Henrique came to take the face off because we are shorthanded for the next minute 17. Across the line, the Columbus Blue Jackets will fire it into the far side. This one back down low comes now for the Blue Jackets along the right wing inside the Oilers territory near side. This time the goalie's reversed after the first period of play, as this will be picked up by Columbus. They start dancing around the Oilers defense. Nice block there by Henrique to cause chaos inside the Columbus power play unit. Werenski down to the far side. Werenski at the blue line, losing that puck a brief moment to Henrique as the Blue Jackets continue to just slap this puck around the Oilers offensive zone, or Oilers defensive zone. Shot on net, tipped in front, goes wide. 34 seconds to go as I need to get my bearings back after what's been a long intermission. The shot blocked in front there. Nurse will tap it along the boards back to the blue line. Werenski, far side, shot fired, blocked in front again. The Oilers doing a good job getting in front of some shots here, as digging in is Nugent Hopkins. Maybe a little bit of a can opener hook there, and this is going to be a nice clear by Adam Henrique all the way down the ice, and that will do it for the Columbus Blue Jackets power play. The Oilers penalty kill unit kills another one here early on in this season as McDavid fires a puck back to the blue line. That's going to set up Bouchard over to McDavid. It's a tap in and they don't score. Overpassing the puck and they throw it away again. You've got to be kidding me. That one is a tap in and McDavid had all the time in the world and still missed it, even though Bouchard should have just rocketed that one home. 18:25 to go in the second period. The Oilers just had the most glorious chance they will have in any hockey game in the month of December that they do not score on, as that is a one-time beauty there for Bouchard, but the Oilers decide to overpass the puck. Bouchard would have rifled that home, no doubt about it, and the Oilers instead overpass it as McDavid fires it off the tape. You've got to be kidding me here. The Oilers just cannot find a way to make sense of what they should be doing out there. That's beyond words, honestly. I'm not even making full sentences on how frustrated I am with that, as this puck comes all the way inside the Oilers territory for a second straight icing call. So with a 18:18 to go in this second period of play, we will have a face-off inside the Columbus zone. And again, struggling with the itchy nose here tonight, and we'll survive. We'll survive. I promise you that. See, that wasn't... Bouchard had a chance to replicate the Hyman goal from earlier. Oh yeah, that's good action. That's what you're here for. Tyson wiping his nose. As this will be Draisaitl dragging to the middle, trying to pass the puck to the middle, and just not connecting. As this would be nice to see the Oilers just shoot a puck here. We've got 13 shots, so we've had one shot this period so far, and the Oilers still struggling here to get a hold of a puck in the middle of the ice. As this one comes down to McDavid. McDavid down the left wing. McDavid's going to go in behind the net. McDavid drags around in the middle here for Draisaitl. Burger flipper backhand goal. Finally, the Oilers connect, drive the net, and put one home. That's a pass over to the corner that goes to the middle, and somebody goes straight to the net to put a puck in the back. And there you have it. All right, we've got life here. Draisaitl from McDavid, and the Oilers on their 14th shot of the game suddenly have something cooking here, up 2-1 in tonight's action. You're one goal away from winning this for sure, and Tarasov completely lost it in front after the bodies piled up. And just like that, the Oilers score some goals. Hyman, though, will this come back on goalie interference as Hyman's skating in front? Tarasov never touched, and the Oilers will drop the puck on what is now a 2-1 hockey game, 17:38 to go. That's a huge goal. I mean, that brings us back. Evason's trying to decide if he's challenging it, and they're looking it over, and what are they deciding? Are they going to go for review here? I'm not sure what they're doing. Trying to figure it out. And it looks like we are going to have a challenge on the play, so the Oilers could come to the power play if all goes according to plan here. You got to figure, if Hyman made contact, he made contact outside the blue paint. Hyman comes through the blue paint, but then he's outside. Both, like, majority of his skates are out, so I assume that will be the ruling, is he was outside the blue paint. Yeah, it depends on where you look at his skates. But yeah, every time Zach Hyman's in the crease, it's a good idea to challenge him, although Tarasov's the one that initiates contact with the gloves. So not sure how this one's going to break down for the Oilers, but you hope that it breaks down in a positive manner, as Tarasov, yeah, he initiates contact. He skates into Hyman. So you got to figure this one's going to not take too long to review. Evason thinks he's got something here, but I don't really think he does. I think the Oilers are going to be able to skate away with a goal for, and a positive one in which they took a puck straight to the net after receiving a pass in the middle. And that's absolutely awesome if the Oilers do score a goal after doing that and get a result out of it as well. So we'll see what happens. But friends, we continue to climb towards a positive result here. If the Oilers ultimately end up doing this multiple times in the second period, that'd be absolutely fantastic. I think we'd all love that. We are almost up to over 100 hours watched on the stream as well, so love to see that as well as we continue to have a stream that I didn't exactly expect us to have this evening, right? I came home and I'm like, yeah, I'll fire up a stream. I was pretty sure I was going to be done after the first period, but things went positive, I guess you could say. And now we find ourselves just waiting for the word on this coach's challenge, as hopefully for the Oilers we get a positive result and away we go. But I don't know if that's going to be the case for sure, but I'm betting on it. I want it to happen. I need it to happen, more or less. As the more goals the Oilers score, the better off we are this evening. So we're going to have the referee put the final opinion through. And again, it's Tarasov that skates into Hyman and then throws the glove into Hyman. So I'm not sure which way this is going to go, but that is pointed to center ice. There you have it. It's a good goal. Penalty to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Goal for Leon Draisaitl. Connor McDavid, double point night. And just like that, we're just hoping to see something here or the other guys the rest of the evening, because it's been Bouchard, McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman scoring points. Who got the secondary assist? Bouchard again. So Bouchard and McDavid, double point nights. Draisaitl, Hyman with the other 2 points. Nice to see the big boys scoring goals and getting points, but you've got to get some other guys involved. The passengers have to step up the rest of the way, and a second power play unit goal would be really massive for the Oilers should all things be told here on this power play. So, friends, let's do this. Just about to cross 1,200 views on the stream, so to all of you watching back home, thank you for being a part of the success this evening that has been watching this Oilers game. A result in a 2-1 score with 17.5 minutes to go in the second period of play. Picked up now by Connor McDavid in the middle of the ice. He'll come over to the near side. He ultimately skates that off the blade into the neutral territory. Picks it back up on a nice whack there by Bouchard. Sorry, that's Nuge picking it up. Taps it back to McDavid. McDavid stutter steps. Contact initiated by Columbus over to the far side. McDavid can't get the pass through. 2 for 10 in the last 5 games for the Oilers power play, so a 20% rate. Here's Nuge trying to pass it instead of shooting it. Tarasov was bleeding over to that far side. The Oilers maintain zone possession here. Bouchard to the far side. Pass to the middle. Ends up happening over to Nuge, who fires the shot, and then Draisaitl couldn't handle the rebound, poking it back to Bouchard. Bouchard back now over to Draisaitl. Draisaitl into the corner for McDavid. McDavid to Draisaitl. Hyman taps it away. McDavid comes away with it back to Bouchard. This power play is reminiscent of the ones in past years, whipping that puck around. Draisaitl's stick, though, explodes. Bouchard doesn't go for the puck, and Draisaitl forced to retreat back as the Blue Jackets are offside. So that's a tough go with 16:28 to go in this second period. The power play had something cooking. They were keeping the puck alive in the offensive zone, but ultimately that puck escapes the zone and Draisaitl's stick exploded, and that's where it is. So it is what it is. But ultimately, we'll see if the Oilers can come away with the puck off the face-off. They do. They got the second unit out there by the looks of it. There's Jeff Skinner. There's Adam Henrique. Henrique fires it in down low to the far side. That puck bounces off a couple of guys, and it's fired all the way down to Calvin Pickard, who had to steer clear of the trapezoid rule. Picked up by Darnell Nurse. Nurse will go to the far side boards. He's turned around there in the corner. Comes up the left wing. Fires it back to the near side for Skinner. Skinner to the middle. The one-timer for Ekholm. On goal, scores! Matthias Ekholm, second power play unit goal. Just as we drew it up, we get the goal. Called the goal. Then we get the second power play goal. And Columbus is looking maybe at challenging this one here. 15:58 to go as Ekholm did drive the net. But look at that. Drive to the middle. Get the puck and shoot the puck 2 feet away from the net, and good things are going to happen. Nurse up the far side boards. Tip play there by Henrique, and then a beautiful play by Skinner over to Ekholm, back of the net, and the Oilers ultimately score the goal. Jeff Skinner, let me tell you, he's going to start riding hot at some point, and it's going to be interesting to see where this all breaks down as Ekholm scores the goal, and Matthias Ekholm keeps riding hot himself. He's had a great season. He'll have 50-plus points if all allows. And 15:58 to go in this second period of play. Emily Rose Terrell scores an espresso virtuo. And there we go. The Oilers will get back to action here in this second period. They've scored 3 goals. I can guarantee you the Oilers will win tonight's hockey game. That one 110% fresh off the grill in guaranteed presses here tonight as the Columbus Blue Jackets off the end wall. Matthias Janmark was trying to fake out traffic, couldn't quite do it, and the Blue Jackets are open back the other way. Across the line, they're going to try and backhand this one down low. It's picked up by Troy Stetcher. 3rd goal this season for Ekholm on the power play. Skinner's 5th assist of the year. So, like I said, Jeff Skinner starts riding hot, and suddenly things are looking real good for the Edmonton Oilers. Friends, we're also closing in on 27 likes here on tonight's live stream. So, we're right close to 30, so if you haven't already done that, make sure to do that. And I'll tell you right now, while we do a line change for the Oilers, if you haven't left subscribe yet on the channel, make sure to do that. If you're hanging around new to the channel and want to check things out, I encourage you that. Also a little bit of interesting stuff up there in the pinned chat for you. As Kulak off the draw, able to push that puck forward, get it down low into the offensive zone. Coming to rush for it was Kapanen. Back to the blue line. Kulak fires the shot through traffic. Tarasov snags it out of the air. A minute 40 went by before the Oilers scored a second goal. Quick strike offense. We're above the season average in goal scoring, and we're below the season average in goals against. So that's nice to see for the Oilers, right? The more the more goals they score and the less goals they allow, the more those numbers will start to balance, and we'll suddenly start looking like a winning hockey team. I'll tell you that much. Here we go. Here's Draisaitl. No, it's going to be Podkolzin drawing in as Draisaitl draws something up for Kapanen. Podkolzin comes into the dot. Draisaitl sits back off the face-off a little bit in terms of maybe trying to get a turnover here. Almost spun around and stole that on the backhand. Here's Marchenko, though, for the Blue Jackets across the line. Kapanen picks it up. The Blue Jackets will play it to the far side boards, and here comes Podkolzin down the ice. He tapped it over to the near side. Blue Jackets picking this one up across the line now. Here we go. Puck is played down low, and this is going to be near side. Podkolzin to the far side. Tapped over now. Draisaitl across the line. And 14:37 to go here in this, you guessed it, second period of play where the Oilers have taken command of the game. 3-1, hopefully 4-1, hopefully 5-1 by the end. All be all. Here's Zach Hyman right in on net. Dangled in front to get around Tarasov, but he's denied by the far side reach. 14:17 to go in this second period of play. Columbus along the line, played down low with nice save by Calvin Pickard. 14:10 now remaining in the second period of play as Bouchard skates forward. Jeff, welcome aboard. And this one is going to be fired down low. Shots this period, 5-1 for the Oilers. Suddenly, they decide to shoot a couple of pucks in front, and they're getting going as they've now got 19 shots in the game as this puck comes down low again. Here's McDavid trying to spin around. Can't do it. Ekholm out to the middle. It looks like they might have credited that Jeff Skinner, Adam Henrique opportunities to the Oilers finally, as they now have 14 shots credited in that first period of play. This puck coming behind the net. Here's now Hyman. Hyman along the boards turns that puck over. Puck to the far side. The group chat just went off. And let's see what happens here as this puck comes down low near side boards. 13:23 to go. Shot fired off of Pickard to the far side. He makes his 11th save of the night. So there you have it. He's got a 9:09. And here come the Oilers back the other way. McDavid leading the charge over now. McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins. Hyman scores 2 goals for Zach Hyman in his return, just like that. The Oilers top line back in action. McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, Hyman. And if you are an EST parlay roller, you have just cashed in this evening. I think their parlay was Mr. McDavid, Hyman, and Nugent-Hopkins, if you've been following along on social media this evening, all about all things Oilers. But what a pass there from Nugent-Hopkins. A nice feed. No danger of that puck getting stolen. And then across to Hyman, who no doubt, good hands. Finally, after a tough start to the season, scores the goal. It's 4-1 for the Oilers. If the result was in doubt after 3-1, it certainly is not in doubt after 4-1. We love to see it here. The Oilers are shooting the pill against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Here's Henrique across to the far side. A bobbled play. Henrique kind of forced that one as Nugent-Hopkins picks up his 9th assist of the season. He continues to be in the top 5 of Oilers scoring, by the way. Shot save made by Pickard. And this one goes along the end wall. Puck is forced there by Henrique. Stetcher comes in, turns it back around for Henrique. Picked up now Janmark. Janmark over to Skinner. Skinner across the line, trying to tap that one right in front. Janmark still trying to steal it away. The Oilers backing off at the blue line because Columbus had kind of thrown the zone. And now you have it over to the far side. 12:13 to go in this second period to play. DC, welcome aboard. Good to see you as this one comes across the line. The Blue Jackets will be offside with 12:06 to go in the second period of play. Friends, things coming together here in tonight's live stream. The Oilers finally winning a game on live stream. It's been a hot minute since that happened. And, well, we're rolling this evening as well. We're within 10 hours. Within 10 hours of hitting that 90 mark here tonight. So, yeah, obviously, I will tell you, if you haven't already had a chance, check out that pinned chat. There's a video link there where you can check out me doing some silly stuff here on the channel to try and generate a little buzz outside of the Edmonton Oilers, if you know what I mean. And other than that, we are rolling along here this evening for what has been a busy evening of action for the Oilers. 4 goals in the goal-scoring department, right? That's huge. We love to see that. Obviously, if you're average 2.88 through 25 games, you're at 72. Now you're at 76 through 26, which gets us up to 2.92. And the goals against looking to come down from 2.98 or whatever it's at to 2.96. So, yeah, the Oilers very well, if they run up the score 7-1, 8-1 here, could add a lot to the bargain. Sorry, friends. Getting cold, getting restless, kind of need dinner here. We'll take an extended timeout in the second intermission. But, man, welcome aboard. And, yeah, friends, welcome aboard. 90 of you along for the ride. Glad to see everybody back here on the stream this evening. As, yeah, the Oilers obviously have produced some results for us. Zach Hyman from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Connor McDavid. Matthias Ekholm from Jeff Skinner and Darnell Nurse. That is your secondary situation on that power play. So the depth guys do contribute. Jeff Skinner, obviously an important piece, picking up an assist. Darnell Nurse continues the defense, helping out. So does Matthias Ekholm. By the way, Bouchard's got 2 points. So you've got 4 points from the Oilers defense, which is nice to see. You don't see that too often every single night against teams like Columbus, but tonight it works out. So you're loving it after a 6-1 loss earlier this season. 12 minutes to go in this second period of play. Darnell Nurse fired a puck off the wall out of play, so that puck ended up out of play, and the Oilers will ultimately reset for another face-off as we get going here, friends, into the last 12 minutes of play in this second period of play. 20-13 the shots on goal for the Oilers over the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's a good number for good measure as Drysdale wins the face-off at center ice. Nice play here by Kulak to get it over to Podkolzin far side as Drysdale rips it ahead to Podkolzin. Couldn't quite get it on the tape, and it goes all the way down inside the Columbus zone. Give me just a moment here, friends. I'm not sure what that sound is over here. I think we're fine. Good to go. Nothing to worry about there. Just the cat scratching at the wall a little bit. I gotta love having random pieces of drywall hanging out in the basement. As 11:48 to go, shot on net. Picks fights it off, and now the Oilers will try and get it going the other way. Here's Kulak over to the far side, tapped inside the zone by the Oilers. I think that was Kapanen getting that across the line. Ultimately here it's going to be turned back. Podkolzin gets it back. Kapanen again taps it down low, though. Nice play by Columbus to keep that away from Draisaitl down lower by the face-off dots, and Darnell Nurse forced to pivot it back over to Kulak, who bounces it up the boards, and a nice backhand across now for Nurse, springing him down the left wing. Here's now Podkolzin across to the far side for Nurse, back down into the corner, nobody home, and now we're going to see this one come back to the point as it comes out of the zone. Marchenko over to the far side, down the wing, Columbus inside the zone. Stetcher sees it go to the far side, and this feels like it's cooking, so we're going to let that go off. But the Oilers suddenly sprang to life in this period. You love to see it. That's a huge get for the Oilers, who needed some goal scoring this evening, and they have gotten it so far with almost 10 minutes remaining in this second period of play. Jeff Skinner out there dancing in the middle of the zone fell down. He's ultimately going to have a one-on-one back the other way against the Columbus Blue Jackets defense. Skinner looking for a pass. He can't make it cleanly. He's got the puck back, though. He'll rip it into the corner for Janmark. Janmark's going to tap this one along the wall down low to Henrique, over to Skinner. Skinner sees it cut off there by the Columbus Blue Jackets defense. They got discombobulated, and ultimately it'll come out into the neutral zone, where across the line Columbus fires a shot. Pickard off a board bounce, had to come back over to the near side quick. Sillinger at the point decides to go over to the far side for the look, blocked in front, tipped through, and it bounces off Pickard, and that's a rough looking goal against for the Edmonton Oilers. That one a head scratcher again, as Pickard, he wants to have that one back. As if he could have just stood still, he would have been just fine. As that puck, he was kind of scrambling around like Stewie does sometimes, and got moving a bit too much as that puck goes off of Emberson. Ultimately bounces off of him and into the back of the net. Is just a little too much from Calvin Pickard on that play, as he just didn't need to kick that out. He just needed to simply stay stay the course. He had the save the first time. No need to second guess yourself, as there's Ekholm throwing a massive hit along the end wall. Didn't even knock the guy off the feet, but a good jolt as Nugent Hopkins gets out there with the top line, featuring Zach Hyman, who, oh, by the way, is on hat trick alert again tonight. 9:36 to go in this second period to play, down low in the neutral zone at the Oilers' blue line. The puck went. Bouchard rips it to the far side boards, picked up by McDavid, who's offside. He regathers. Sillinger, who had a good game last time against the Oilers, picks up another assist. Ekholm fired that puck in with authority. Here's McDavid now over to Nugent Hopkins. Hyman can't cue up the one-timer. The puck just tight inside. Got him a little tied up. Is this now Nugent Hopkins down low to McDavid? McDavid over now. Ekholm, or sorry, Hyman. Shot fired. Puck now along the boards, picked up by Ekholm. And this will be inside the Oilers zone. Sorry, TV's lagging out a little bit here. Picked up by Hyman. Hyman will fire and get through traffic. Tarasov out to play the puck. He leaves it there along the wall. Picked up by the Oilers again. Backhanded to the point for Hyman. Hyman over to Kulak. Kulak down the left wing. Shot fired, ripped on net. Blocked in front. Here's Perry. Perry over to Ryan, who gets absolutely leveled. And this one will come back near side. Puck's going to be stolen away by Brown. Brown over to Perry. Perry to the far side wing. Picked up by Emerson. Emerson down low looking for his first goal as an Oiler. Blue line blast from Kulak. Rebound in front. Brown skirts away from the puck at the wrong time. And this one across to far side for Emerson. Taps it down low. The fourth line is cooking here. They have got something humming inside the Blue Jacket zone. They have come back with a good answer back shift for the Oilers, following up the top line's shift. And this is now back inside the Oilers zone. But you like to see it. When the Oilers decide to turn the gears up, they get going. And they get going in a hurry. And that they have since this second goal of Columbus's. Though now Columbus back the other way across the line. The shot ripped, saved in front by Pickard. Monahan back to the blue line. It's going to be fired there by Podkolzin into the boards. Drysdale can't steal it away. Here's now an opportunity in front. Werenski taps it. And it was just about tapped in at the side of the net off the pad of Pickard. But this game needs a big hit. This game needs something. The physicality department's been a little bit lacking here tonight. But Kulak, an absolute blast from the point, and Tarasov just couldn't quite handle that one as the Oilers lead 4-2. Looking to hold on in tonight's action. So, friends, we're rolling along here this evening on the live stream. Thank you for being aboard as we continue to see what the Edmonton Oilers ultimately have in store for us the rest of the way home this evening. Ultimately, it's been awesome live streaming again. I think we've got the entire duration of the game this evening, no doubt about that. And it'll be nice to do a post-game following right after a live stream, so looking forward to that as well, as we have now crossed up over, yes indeed, 100 hours on the stream. So let's see what the Oilers have in store for us, friends. Give me a second again. If you are new to the channel, I'll tell you, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button here on the channel. Would love to have you aboard as a subscriber. Tonight we entered action with, I believe, 17,125. And tonight we are right now midway through the second period, sitting at 17,130. So +5 in that department. So thank you for tuning in and deciding to give me at least an opportunity for a day or two, as the Oilers will hopefully give us lots to talk about post-game this evening. Again, Jeff Skinner has gotten a point. Matthias Ekholm has scored a goal. Nuge and McDavid got assists on a Hyman tally. McDavid and Bouchard on Hyman's first tally. And then McDavid and Bouchard on Drysdale's 18th of the season. And suddenly things are looking pretty decent for the old Edmonton Oilers this evening. So looking forward to that. Staying the course here tonight. Other than that, I don't really know if there's any other stories to be told so far, other than Calvin Pickard's been fighting it to a large degree here tonight. The tough saves he's made and the dribblers and the bounces are going in. It's that kind of night for Mr. Calvin Pickard, unfortunately. We're back to action as I'm trying to get one last huge shot of water in me as the Oilers just fire it to an open corner inside their own zone. And it looks like we are going to have a stoppage in play as Nurse looks around the ice as there's a broken part of the bench on the Oilers, or on the Columbus bench, as it looks like somebody busted the bench, and we're going to have a delay in the game because of a broken piece of boards, which is the gate on the Columbus bench. That is maybe one of the more interesting delays I think I've ever seen in a hockey game. The bench door won't close as here comes the rink technician out to close the bench door and assess the issue. But okay, this is a new one to me this evening, as I'm going to take a moment to send a text to a friend who will definitely appreciate this. As they're going to try and get this fixed up. I'm not sure what exactly the issue is with it. It just won't slam shut. They're trying their best to get this figured out. But yeah, there seems to be some issue. They got the Milwaukee pack out here as they're trying to get all the tools to figure this out. Maybe you want to make sure you've got your Milwaukee tools in there as well if you're using the Milwaukee pack out. But they got some hammers, they got some screwdrivers, they got some things in there. But wow, this is some heightened coverage here. Zach Hyman talking with McDavid, with Janmark and Nugent Hopkins. Interesting. Yeah, this is interesting. This is a delay I have never seen in a hockey game, to be honest with you. So, 30th career 2-goal game for Zach Hyman. Remember, once upon a time, we all just wished he could get a hat trick. Now he's got like 3 or 4 as a member of the Edmonton Oilers as we continue to wait for this delay to be fixed. Looks like things are good to go. The bench door closed. And let's get back to action here, shall we? As Sean Monahan comes into the draw. He's kicked out for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And with 7:09 to go in the second period, we'll have the draw for Leon Draisaitl inside his own zone. It's one back. Nurse is going to tap this one to the far side for Stetcher. Stetcher along the right wing leads out for Podkolzin. Podkolzin across now for Kapanen. And this second line's been pretty productive running around here tonight for the Oilers. They've generated some zone time, that's for sure. Off the end wall, it's going to bounce to the far side for Stetcher, picked up by Draisaitl. Draisaitl wheeling and dealing over to Kapanen. Kapanen now for Draisaitl. Draisaitl along the end wall, dragging that puck free to Kapanen again. They're moving the puck around, generating ozone offensive puck possession. You like to see that. That's a good category to keep. Stetcher fakes the shot. Nurse fires it. Rebound, Tarasov. Podkolzin gets 4 whacks at it or so and just couldn't jam it home, as it looks like Kapanen is a little bit broken in the corner. He ate a stick up high, and he's going to skate off under his own power. But that looks like a wicked shot there for Kapanen, who might have drawn a call or something here. Either way, he ate a stick up high. And that's a tough go if you're the Oilers. If you lose Kapanen, who's been a good forward for you in his 5 games, now 6 since being picked up on waivers for $1 million. And the Blue Jackets are looking to see what they're going to be assessed. A 4-minute high-sticking double minor. That, my friends, is a big get for the Oilers power play that's already struck once tonight. And where is it here? Fabro comes around and absolutely gets under the visor and causes damage, as that's tough for Kapanen there. And that was a good looking shot there from Nurse, and the Oilers just couldn't cash in front as Kapanen ultimately gets eaten up by the high stick. But now the Oilers power play looks to get the job done here on this opportunity, that's for sure. Fabro goes to the box, and they will get an opportunity to do some damage, as Dean Evanson's night's been rough. The Columbus Blue Jackets have taken some tough penalties, and the Oilers have capitalized once, but now we're going to see ultimately what happens here as this continues to evolve. So the Oilers have an opportunity to make the Columbus Blue Jackets pay a bit for what was a tough play from Fabro, as the Oilers off the draw, win it back to Bouchard. Bouchard looking to make quick work of this. Here is Nugent Hopkins Fires it down low to Hyman, who's, he's on hat trick watch. Hyman across on the near side post. Sees Bouchard at the point, leave it there for McDavid. McDavid over to Bouchard. The Oilers have definitely had their boots moving a little bit more in the last few minutes of power play time. As here's Nugent Hopkins playing it down low. It's tapped away by the Blue Jackets, and Nuge ultimately won it back. In the middle, Drysdale across to Hyman, trying to trick the Blue Jackets back door. Didn't work, and they will fire it down. So the discombobulated play obviously finally comes to an end for the Oilers and the Blue Jackets inside their zone. And now the Oilers will start out from behind Pickard on the zone clear. Leading up, Connor McDavid against the Blue Jackets defense. Here's Nugent Hopkins turning back. Bouchard looking. Fires down into the corner for McDavid. McDavid back to the point. Bouchard the blast. Rebound. Nugent Hopkins doesn't shoot the backhand. So that was a good looking opportunity. Maybe another opportunity to shoot the puck on net. Here's Hyman. A shot in tight. And Hyman ends up just shooting into the belly of Tarasov. They'll go off after a minute 08 on the power play gone by. And again, the Oilers maybe on that Bouchard blast a little guilty of overpassing there. Bouchard did find a good lane though moments later to find Hyman down at the side of the net. Just couldn't open up Tarasov enough to sneak one upstairs, as here comes Henrik Skinner, and of course on the far side Corey Perry. As the puck comes off the glass, it's won there by the Oilers, battling. Skinner got it up high to Henrik, who got it to Nurse. Back to Nurse at the point. He missed the puck. Are you kidding me? As it comes back inside the Oilers zone all the way down to Calvin Pickard, picked up right in front of the blue paint by Nurse, hustling up. He'll shoot it in, dump it around the boards, leave it there as Perry will come over to the near side for Nurse. The shot fired down low to Perry, to Skinner along the half wall. Now back to Skinner. Skinner looking over to Nurse again. Guys moving the puck around rather efficiently here. Need a shot on net in the next few seconds, or else you're starting to overpass a bit as Skinner goes down low off the shin pads of Corey Perry, as Skinner was able to keep that puck from getting out of the zone on the clearing attempt. Here Skinner off the left wing, passing back. Nobody wants to shoot the puck. Anybody want to shoot the puck? Nurse fires it through traffic. It's blocked in front, but they're eating zone time here for the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are ultimately going to have to bang it off the boards and out. And again, the Oilers just playing that puck way too long. Pass. No shot. Block shot cleared out of the zone. So hopefully they can cure it here in the last minute 39 of the power play, as Bouchard leads ahead back to McDavid, the top unit, trying to take advantage of a 4-minute power play that's got Columbus a bit on their heels here in this 4-2 game. Obviously, the more time the Oilers spend on the power play, the better off we are, as McDavid across the line over to Nugent Hopkins. Nuge back to Bouchard. Bouchard far side to Drysdale. Drysdale plays it back to the point now. Bouchard over to McDavid. McDavid down the left wing. McDavid on net. Backhanded in front. Blocked there by Columbus on a good opportunity. Here comes back the other way. Across the line, the save made by Pickard. That's huge. Shot coming back on the shorthanded opportunity that was for Columbus, as McDavid stumbles. Puck hit the skate. Kept on his feet. He'll go across the line. Drysdale stood still. Puck to the middle, and the Oilers just continue to overpass the puck a bit here on this power play. A bit of an exaggeration to some degree, as well, as this puck comes back to the blue line. Nuge can't settle it, and then he throws himself offside, and Bouchard will go back to the middle near side for Drysdale, who was able to get some aid from Nugent Hopkins. Hyman with the puck back to the point for Bouchard. Bouchard fakes the blast over to McDavid. McDavid back to Bouchard. Winds up, shoots fired, tipped in front off the pad of Tarasov, and it goes back inside the Oilers' territory. And it'll come back now for McDavid. McDavid carrying with 6 seconds of power play time around a defenseman for Columbus. Back to behind the net. The power play over. Generated maybe 3 or 4 shots, but nothing to say it was a good one, as Nurse goes back to Stetcher. Stetcher down low to Nurse. Nurse spins off of Fabro. The shot in front blocked there by Columbus. And this will now be Monahan to the far side, as Columbus across the blue line with 2:06 to go in the second period to play. Columbus looking. And they will roll back down low to the near corner, it looks like. Yep, near corner. And this comes along the wall both teams trying to get this one gone, and this will be picked up and back to the middle of the ice for the Oilers to escape the zone and get back into Columbus's territory as Skinner goes to the middle, picked up and stolen away by the Oilers on the clearing attempt there by Columbus after stealing that puck from Skinner. Right in front, opportunity, Skinner scores! Jeff Skinner having himself a night, finds the back of the net on a big-time steal out from behind. Puck was bouncing, bobbling, and it ends up in the back of the net as the Oilers get one back against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who only made us pay a couple of times. Jeff Skinner, don't let him get hot is what I've been saying here this live stream, and all of a sudden he's got 2 points and we're good to go. So McSorley, welcome in. Jaden and Peyton, welcome aboard as yes sirree, Adam Henrique does some good work, and then Jeff Skinner bobbling the puck, ends up dangling. It looks like dangling, but he was fighting that puck for control, and he puts it in the back of the net. So Henrique now has an assist. You'll love to see it. The Oilers doing some good work tonight. 5 goals this evening, and thrown back down low by the Columbus Blue Jackets off the face-off at center ice as Emerson will lift out into the middle of the ice. Skinner, 5th goal this season. And here we go now. Podkolzin and an assist to Janmark as well, his 10th. And the Oilers right back in front as Henrique picks up another assist. So you'll love to see it. As this would be nice to see the Oilers get across the line here with control. They don't. And now picked up by Connor Brown as the Oilers continue to play well. Connor Brown getting some elevated minutes here alongside Draisaitl and Podkolzin. The Oilers, for the most part, kept the lines together tonight. That's an impressive feat until Kapanen got hit with the high stick. 45 seconds to go as Nurse comes chasing for an icing inside his own zone. 31 shots on net for the Oilers. You'll love to see it. They all of a sudden woke up after a lackluster first period and have started shooting pucks on net and getting results for doing so. It's been a fantastic evening so far in the results department for the Edmonton Oilers. Loving what I'm seeing, and hopefully that continues the rest of the way home tonight against the Columbus Blue Jackets. 18 shots this period for the Edmonton Oilers. That's a big-time win as Jeff Skinner is having himself a night. His 5th goal of the season, followed up by his 5th assist of the season. Oh, yes, indeed. 10 points now for Jeff Skinner in 26 games. Suddenly that doesn't look near as bad as 8 in 25. The numbers start adding up there for Skinner a little bit more for a $3 million man as this puck's back inside the Oilers territory. Skinner's chasing the one-timer queued up by Columbus. Failed to get on net, a kind of bobbled puck. 9 seconds to go. Nurse off the end wall. Oilers can't afford a goal against in the last 5 seconds of the period. The shot fired towards the net, blocked by Stetcher. And friends, after 2 periods of play, we'll wind things down with the scoring summary here in tonight's action as the Oilers with what is now 5 goals on net against Columbus, and they haven't even registered the Jeff Skinner goal. That's 5. I don't know why is this out of date? What? Why is this? It looks like Sportsnet has not fed an update for a little while, so the scoreboard still says 4-2. So it looks like Sportsnet's live stats are a little bit frozen, friends. It is 5-2 for the Oilers. I'm going to go take an extended break to eat a little bit of a burrito, and then we'll get back to action here for the 3rd period in a matter of moments. Friends, thanks for being aboard. See you in a few minutes. All right, friends, burrito is in the air fryer. We're about to get things going for what should be a good start to this third period. I'll tell you that much for sure. As I want to say, what do we got going on here? I want to send you a video link in the chat. Of course, for those of you that don't know what's going on the channel lately, kind of been messing around with music, actually. A good friend of mine from back in the day, former Edmonton Sun music journalist, I'm pretty sure, taught me that music on YouTube sells. So let's go here and talk about the song "Welcome to the Jungle." There's been a little bit of stuff that you might not have caught on Dolynny TV as of late. I am a music fan myself. I know a lot of times you folks in the chat there will start talking music randomly in a big hockey game, and yeah, I've started throwing around a few jokes, laughs at myself as we talk some classic rock here. Highway to Hell was on the Sunday edition of the Spoken Lyrics program, but Welcome to the Jungle was last night's edition. So definitely, if you want to go check that out, that is what's pinned at the top of the chat, but we'll remove that and we'll throw something else up there here in a matter of moments. Friends, please leave a like, and I don't know, what am I asking? If I'm asking, please. There we go. We'll just blatantly say what I'm going to say, right? Why not? Don't waste any time. Don't mince any words. So here we go, friends. That is what I would definitely encourage you to do. If you got a few moments while we're waiting to get back live again, have we updated? Yes, we have. End of 2, 5-2 for the Oilers. Good to see. Jeff Skinner from Adam Henrique and Matthias Janmark. That's a big goal, all told. Why? Because the depth scoring has now stepped up for the Oilers. Henrique has 2 assists. Jeff Skinner has 2 points. Matthias Janmark has a point. Matthias Ekholm has a point. And then you have Bouchard with multi-point nights. McDavid with multi-point night. 3 of them total, same as Zach Hyman. And then RNH has a nice little point as well in tonight's action. So there you have it. Let's get this going, friends. I'm going to quickly run upstairs. Darcy, welcome back to it. And Rory, I think Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. I was trying to figure out what would be the next tune. That one makes sense to be the next tune, that's for sure. So we'll stay tuned for what happens Friday night. Big day, you know, Airdrie to go. But for right now, I'm going to leave the set again, go get my burrito out of the air fryer, and we'll get things going for a second half of the second period intermission. All right, friends. Burrito's been dummied. I actually got to eat on stream. That's nice. That doesn't happen every day. But Gene Principe still hanging out with Lenny on the broadcast. You love to see it. Or is that just replays of... what is that, just replays? I think it might just be replays. Or no, we got Lauren Kyle on the broadcast. Of course we do. As Gene Principe steps up to do the interview with Lauren McDavid. Sorry, that's going to take a hot minute to get used to. We've been calling her Lauren Kyle for all this time, and now she's Lauren McDavid. Wow, time comes at you fast, friends, doesn't it? That is unreal. Mr. Connor McDavid all growing up, but yeah, absolutely fantastic to see old Connor there get his 1,000-point ceremony this morning. It feels like this morning, honestly. I'm scrambled up trying to figure out what my cat's doing, trying to figure out what Lenny's doing on the broadcast, all that. But the Oilers obviously winning this one 5-2 should be good enough to hold on. I've guaranteed you, if you've been watching long enough, that this game is going to be 100% an Oilers victory. So take that at what you will. But for the Oilers, if we come away with a big old victory tonight, it's going to go a long way in winning ourselves a big-time goal-scoring plus, right? 77 in 26 games sounds a lot better than, 73 or 74 in 26 games. And you add a couple more to that, you don't allow another goal or two tonight, and things suddenly look great for the Oilers after a game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets, though, only 16 shots on net. So right now, Kevin Pickard, despite allowing only 2 goals, everybody wants a 900 out of Stewie, but Calvin's sitting here at an 875 and winning a game 5-2. Some goalies have all the luck, huh? As that's the case here tonight. So, all right. Let's see what we can do. As McDavid's obviously been dicing tonight. He's been absolutely electric. I mean, there's no doubt about him any given night as long as he's got the boots moving. And then the Oilers have really been sticking with it, too, in front of the net. I think the bigger thing is you've watched a couple of goals where the Oilers cut straight to the net after getting a pass and get going and scoring goals. So positive things, positive steps, and positive results for the Edmonton Oilers as we begin period number 3. It looks like we're even going to get a chance to record the post-game show as the game ends. That doesn't happen very many times this season. In fact, it hasn't happened once. So I'm excited to bring that to you live here as we round out tonight's action. In behind the net, the Oilers got the puck down deep inside the Blue Jackets zone. We're already 15 seconds gone here in the third period of play. Shot over to the near side. Puck's directed down low by Werenski. Puck escaped. Ekholm shots fired in front looking for a friendly bounce where the Jackets, but now 2-on-1 developing. Here's Hyman. Here's Nugent-Hopkins. Here's Bouchard now with the puck. He will find a way to get it down low to Hyman, tap it over to McDavid. McDavid back to Nugent-Hopkins in behind. He fights that puck free, but Blue Jackets defense able to come up with it, bubble it down the ice for an icing call. In hockey, do I think the Oilers are going to win? I think the Oilers are going to win by 6-7-2 here tonight if all goes according to plan. Career versus the Blue Jackets, 18 games, 9 goals, 33 points, multi-point games for Connor, 10, 3 assists this evening for Connor McDavid as he continues to tally up point after point after point with the Columbus Blue Jackets in town. And Podkolzin just took a hip shot on a cross-check uncalled. That's fine. I'm not too minding that. Podkolzin's a tough dude. He'll gut through it, but if he's injured as well, and then you've got a situation where a guy like Kapanen's hurt too. Suddenly your whole second line's gone because Draisaitl's just kind of floating by himself at the center position. Here we go, though. Kapanen's back after that high stick. Some stitches or something worse for wear. Who knows? Stetcher fires the shot. He finally got a backhand sweep by the Oilers. Couldn't get that puck on net. And here's Nurse now at the point as Stetcher will come on down low for, I believe, Podkolzin that was. And now Podkolzin swooping in there again as that second line staying intact so far in this game. Columbus can't exactly break them up that fast as they continue to get some opportunities on net. They've had some good looks here. The Oilers with 30 shots in the game win won 4 of last 6 games with a +8 goal differential. All of a sudden you win 5 of your last 7 with a +11 goal differential, and things are looking pretty dang good, considering you've lost 2 games in there as well. So behind the net to the far side it goes. Janmark gets going behind the net, battling there. Emberson out from behind, 30 plus shots in 22 of 26 games. Here's Janmark passing to nobody, but there's a penalty upcoming to Janmark for an interference or something. So he will go to the box and we'll have a stoppage in play. And I really got to deal with this mustache. I don't know if I'm missing a hair or something. Give me a sec. All right, so Janmark in the box. The Oilers penalty kill to work in this third period of play is Werenski trying to get things done. He'll play it down low as the Jackets go back over to Ekholm. He'll fire it along the boards, can't get it out. Now that's going to be kept in by, I believe, Johnson, as it's looking for an opportunity here. Are the Jackets squad shot fired, rebound in front. Pickard falls on it and is able to make the save with a $1:39 to go. You love to see that. Also, friends, I don't know if you've been able to see me duck out of the way. I've got my stocking hung already for the hockey Christmas season, the old Bakersfield Condors. So you love to see that on the old set here tonight. It's 17:20 to go in this third period of play. The Oilers just have to get the job done in this hockey game. Monahan's 79 career power play goals. Crazy that Monahan scored almost as many as 100 in this point of his career. I mean, he's been around a while, but still nuts to me to see is Kulak off the end wall, plays it back to the blue line. The Oilers will tap it to the far side. Back now, the Blue Jackets looking for an option, looking, shot blocked in front. The penalty kill for the Oilers has been 67.7 on the year. That's been a tough go at home anyways, as here come the Jackets through the middle of the ice. Shot looking there, back to the blue line, Werenski to the far side, tapped in front for a tap in, and the Jackets just couldn't connect. And then the shot, whippy wrister release from Kent Johnson is denied by Mr. Calvin Pickard, and we have a stoppage in play with 16:35 to go in this third period of play. Loving life here as an Oilers fan tonight, that's for sure. Winning 5-2 against the Jackets is definitely better than losing 6-1, so we'll take it any way we can get it. Maybe throwing a little bit of music references in there for your favor as we approach 150 hours watched on the stream this evening. So thank you again, friends, for being aboard here tonight as the Jackets moving through the middle of the ice over to the far side. Down low it comes along the end wall. There's Ekholm trying to battle this one free. It'll come now for the Oilers as they'll whip it up the ice. Down on the penalty kill to Tarasov. 30 seconds remain on the kill with 16:08 to go in this third period of play. Time winding down on the Jackets, and I don't think Dean Evason's exactly the guy who will pull the goalie with 3 goals down as Pickard goes over to the far side. But the Jackets desperately, if they get a power play sometime with 4 minutes to go in the third period, might consider it. Here's Kapanen one-on-one against Provorov. Backhand spin goes up off his stick and no to play. As that was a nice looking little move around Provorov to try and get free, but Kapanen ultimately denied by the stick of Provorov. As you know what it is, as the Oilers have to try and get creative now that the Jackets have seen their attack for the last little bit. Kapanen spun around, had the edge work on his favor, and just couldn't wind it up over top of the glove of Tarasov as he was claimed on waivers. Scored his first goal on Saturday. It was a beauty. As here's the Oilers going behind the net. The Blue Jackets trying to keep this puck alive will ultimately work it out into the middle of the ice and get a mini partial break as it misses wide on Pickard on the left-hand side. And here comes now Fabro inside his own zone trying to headman that through the neutral. It is going to be missed by all involved. Icing call there against the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Oilers will take that, that's for sure. with 15:19 to go in the third period. Time continues to wind down here. We're at 9:14 this evening, so we already had a 2 hour and 15-minute run time. We're going to run up right close to 10 o'clock here by the time this evening's action's done. So that's interesting to note, as that's not typical, but obviously the pregame ceremonies kind of led to what they led to, a delay in the action as the net comes off the moorings by the looks of it, as Zach Hyman tries punching that into the back of the net. And Connor McDavid a little unimpressed maybe with that as well. We'll see what happens, as we're just going to have a stoppage and play here as the net's reconfigured. Or did we have something else go on? Not sure what happened there. Oh, puck was played with a glove hand. That makes sense. I missed that part. The camera angle didn't show that too well. So face off outside of the Oilers zone. The Oilers loading up the top line here for a shift following the penalty kill with 15 minutes to go in this third period. Puck along the near side, flipped in by Monahan inside the Oilers territory. Here's Bouchard. Bouchard goes along the end wall. Ekholm trying to get this puck. Johnson spins out of the corner. McDavid trying to get there, can't do it. Here's Monahan again. Monahan loads up. Marchenko couldn't do it. Werenski fires the shot. Save made by Pickard. Now he's got 2 goals against on 19 shots. You're telling me there's a chance he has a 900 tonight. Would love to see that, that's for sure, for Mr. Calvin Pickard. I mean, as soon as he gets over 900, I'm going to give everybody the credit for saying he's such a good goalie. But just, we're not dumping on Stewie if both goalies having below 800. That's my golden rule this year. Not doing it. As here we go. The wave's going at Rogers Place. You love to see it. You know, everybody gets into the wave as soon as the Oilers get scoring goals and winning hockey games. But still 14 and a half minutes to go in a hockey game that you haven't won yet. Dangerous risk to take, as this puck's going to be fought up the boards. Brown will play it to the middle of the ice now. Brown back across the line to the far side, dragging the opportunity. Perry couldn't pull the trigger. Again, the Oilers hesitating to shoot. Continues to be a trend here tonight. As we approach through the middle now, the Oilers to the near side, picked up and across the line. The Blue Jackets get knocked down there. They're going to try and fight through this one and avoid the battle of some Oilers players in front. Around behind the net, they went back to the blue line off the mid-boards. Shot fired through traffic, goes wide of the net. And this is going to be played to the middle of the ice. And Danforth is going to chip it off the wall. Columbus is going to keep this alive inside the zone. 14:01 to go here in this third period of play. Puck goes behind the net again. Columbus working the Oilers over for really, I feel like outside of the goal they scored to begin the hockey game, the only time they've had zone possession, and just like that, they score a goal, does Columbus. And that's what I was saying, right? I felt like they were working us over, and they do. And they ultimately get the goal for that effort. And just like that, the Columbus Blue Jackets are back in this game. 5-3, the Oilers lead. So, welcome to it. The Oilers bending, breaking, and it's Emerson and Kulak on the ice again as Pickard gets beat famously in a Stuart Skinner position by a point shot from out deep. As I think somebody was actually telling me in the comments section that they love Pickard because he sees those point shots so much better than Skinner. Well, he was trying to make a glove hand save on a shot that went over his right shoulder. So you tell me. I'm not trying to critique him too much, but I understand where I'm coming from. Sillinger with the puck inside his own zone. Columbus sees life. As this goes across the line, Sillinger is going to be tapped up offside. And that will do it for that moment of action. We'll have a stoppage in play as Cole Sillinger ultimately leads home the third goal for Columbus. Friends, I'm going to take a quick moment to send you an ad. And of course, go just rinse out my mouth after grabbing that burrito. All right, friends, let's do this. Back to it. Sorry, just had to get a drink of water, rinse out the mouth after having that burrito. Like I said, A little bit of cheese floating around in there. A little too much information for you watching back at home, but whatever. It is what it is. As the Oilers ultimately have just about 14 minutes to go to try and win this hockey game. But like I said, it's cylinder through traffic that makes this game a little bit more interesting. So hopefully the Oilers can get the job done here in tonight's action. But as we keep going, friends, we're waiting for the Oilers to do this job here this evening. So we continue to see commercial breaks get going, as that's really about where we are. We're just on commercial break waiting for this Oilers game to get back underway. There we go. Gene Principe getting some photos with some UFC guys in some elevators. Of course, UFC was at Rogers Place not too long ago, November 2nd, an absolutely awesome night. But this was, Gene Principe got the photo in the elevator at, not Rogers, at T-Mobile Arena. So that one makes a little bit more sense. But let's see the Oilers do something here in this period. 13.5 to go in this third period of play. Here's Sillinger fighting through the forecheck there of one Kasperi Kapanen, trying to get that puck going in a positive direction. Though they are making it hard on the Oilers. Are those Columbus Blue Jackets here in this third period? They're starting to get physical and pushing the Oilers around. I don't know if Podkolzin's going to stand for it. Yep, he will, as he ends up going across. Drysdale gets tripped up. Maybe a call upcoming. I don't see Pickard going to the bench yet. And it looks like this will be Podkolzin across the line to Drysdale. Drysdale just tripped on thin air, it appears, as Podkolzin got it down deep. Drysdale played it to Kapanen. Kapanen came back to Drysdale, and the puck comes out of the zone, and now all of a sudden hustling back. Drysdale's got to defend a 2-on-1. He got into position, he did the job, and the Oilers were able to strip the guys of the puck and get it back going the other way as Kapanen floats onto the tape of Tarasov with 12:26 to go in this third period. The Oilers haven't really had many shots this period. I don't think they've had a single one, to be honest with you, and that's a little bit of a dangerous alley here to begin this third period's final part of the game with 12 minutes to go. So Oilers got to get in gear here and get going in a positive direction. As here's Bouchard over to the far side. Bouchard sees it played ahead by the Oilers, and across the line it comes over to the far side for McDavid. McDavid back to the point now for Bouchard again. Can't pull the trigger. McDavid down low. The shot from Bouchard coming up over top of the net off of Tarasov. That was a good looking opportunity there, as the Oilers got Bouchard and McDavid moving their feet deep inside the zone. McDavid sees Bouchard tally back to the near side face-off dot. 5-3 the score. Oilers lead the Blue Jackets so far in this game as Brown comes up through the middle. He'll fire it up off the boards, the fourth line out there once more here, killing some more clock for the Oilers as this puck comes back and the other way as Drysdale takes an extended shift. This puck will bounce on Emerson. Down low it goes over. The puck to the far side. Drysdale comes away with the puck, fires it back to Emerson, who's had a tough night tonight, that's for sure, as the puck comes through the middle. Brown will flip it down low. Here comes Ryan going chasing after that puck. He'll lay the body, and then Emerson throws a hit as well that staggers his man. And really there's been no major hits tonight, so I'm going to say they're going to really have a tough time giving away the big hit of the night, as we got 10:46 to go in this third period of play. Puck to the far side boards. This will be fired around the boards and out to the neutral zone. It bounces around a few times, and Columbus gets it back inside the Oilers zone as Stetcher lays it ahead inside the Oilers offensive zone. Olivier plays it over to Provorov. Provorov up the left wing into the neutral zone. This game's just kind of getting jammed up here a bit, as this game has all of a sudden become a 2-goal game, and both teams fighting for every inch out there, but really not throwing the body to earn it. So what do you make of that? As this puck comes back down low now for Stetcher, who gets slammed there by Olivier. You know he's going to throw the body when he's on the ice. As this puck back to the blue line, the shot save made by Pickard. He's up to now 21 shots faced, as this will be fired out by the Oilers. A nice little dribbler inside the Columbus zone. No icing call. They could have gone after the puck and chose not to, as they'll haul right in front of the netminder, and now the puck to the far side and fired on down inside the Oilers' territory as this puck battling there along the near side wall to the blue line to the far side. Fabro got the pass through. It was ultimately blocked off Ekholm. 9.5 minutes to go here in this third period of play as we wind the clock down and hopefully come up with a result that wins this hockey game for the Edmonton Oilers here tonight. So that'd be nice. As let's go here and see the fact that we are up to 161 hours spent watching the stream. Thank you again, friends, for hanging out this evening. Appreciate everybody being aboard. Can't say that enough. Again, we go to check some background numbers as well and see that things have been rolling back there as well. So that Flames scoreboard short continues to roll things up as well. So we'll see where it goes. Scott snacking and watching while we're I ended up munching on a burrito there earlier. So kind of agree with you on that front. You got to be snacking and watching sometimes in a hockey game to keep the energy and keep the adrenaline going when it's now 9:30 at night already. So crazy to think, but we continue along nonetheless. For the Oilers, in case you're just tuning into the live stream now as the game's worn on, well, let me tell you, Kevin LeBlanc and Zach Hyman opened the scoring. Then you had Leon Draisaitl, Matthias Ekholm, Zach Hyman. 4 unanswered goals for the Oilers. Then it was Damon Severson to cut the lead to 4-2. Then Jeff Skinner made it 5-2. Cole Sillinger made it 5-3. And that's where we sit here in this third period of play as we await results from this third period, hopefully coming together for the Oilers in terms of winning a hockey game. Fiverr, thank you for being aboard, I must say. And we'll see what the Oilers can do here to muster up an effort to finish off this final bit of the hockey game. So yeah, friends, we're rolling here this evening. 82 you're aboard as we close out the last 10 minutes of tonight's hockey game. Legacy Heating and Cooling getting a little bit of advertising spot here on the broadcast. Legacy Heating and Cooling, company that does heating and cooling. That's I think literally all I'm allowed to say. So yeah, we're continuing along here tonight as the Oilers are trying to get this game done. 9.5 minutes to go, and Nugent Hopkins will lead across the blue line. Going to backhand down low inside the Columbus Blue Jackets territory. Puck comes right on net, and Tarasov definitely fooled by that puck out of the corner, but he was able to make the save. The Oilers, like what he's saying, not much going on here in this third period for the Oilers, and they just need one more to finish this game off, and all of a sudden she'd be lights out for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So if we can just do that, that'd be fantastic, as we have Tarasov a face-off to his right blocker hand side as McDavid gets into the draw against Justin Danforth of the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets win the draw back. It's going to be played ahead here by Columbus down into the Oilers territory. They will pick up the puck and fire it off the boards as well as that puck continues to bounce around. It'll be fired off the glass. It ultimately ended up on a Blue Jacket stick all the way down to Calvin Pickard, who will play it off the wall and cross the line. Here comes Nugent Hopkins. Sorry, the Oilers, I mean, I don't even feel like they're moving their boots here in this third period for some reason. It just seems like, nothing's going to happen. Don't get too excited as this puck pinballs around the Columbus zone as the Oilers get cycling inside. Here's Draisaitl out there with Hyman and Nugent Hopkins for some strange reason, as I don't know if McDavid's okay or what. That's kind of troubling to see. This puck will go around to the far side as maybe it was Kapanen and Podkolzin. Podkolzin wearing 92 is about the worst thing that could possibly happen for my eyesight on the television set, as Podkolzin, Draisaitl, and Kapanen out there now as Kulak comes out from behind Kapanen, picking this one up. He'll flip past the defense. It will be an icing call if he can't wrestle down the ice, and that will not happen. So we will have a stoppage and play with 8:05 to go in this third period. Guys falling asleep. I don't usually stay up till 9:30 doing hockey broadcasts this season, so kind of a tough assignment for yours truly here tonight, but we'll battle through and get the job done. Friends, If you're excited with this Oilers effort so far tonight, definitely leave a like on the stream. But you see Sean Monahan, Jake Gensel, Stefan Noesen, Jake DeBrusk, and Shane Gostisbehere all enjoying good years with their new teams. On pace for 75 points is Sean Monahan, who had a career-high 82 in 18-19. As it's across the line, picked up by Columbus. They're trying to get on net and get going in a positive direction, as that will come out of the zone, however, with 7:44 to go in the third period of play. So the Oilers have one shot on net. That's a good thing to write home about this period, I guess, as Columbus fires another shot, another save for Calvin Pickard. And there you have it. So, John, what happened on the third goal for Columbus? Basically, seeing eye shot from the point from Cole Sillinger, where Calvin Pickard was floating around in the crease, and it just beats him over the blocker hand shoulder and ends up in the back of the net. Tough goal. Tough goal for the Oilers. Maybe a good goal for the Columbus Blue Jackets fans. Not really sure what to tell you on that front, as we'll have 7:30 to go, third period. That sees the Oilers out shooting the Jackets 3-1 and 5-3. The Oilers lead as this one's fired off the boards, back to the point. Down low it comes to the middle of the ice, and it'll free up to the far side for Derek Ryan, as Janmark, Ryan, and Henrique are out there. So this will be directing traffic. The Oilers get to the neutral zone. Janmark tips it on down low to Tarasov. 7:09 to go in the third period. Tarasov sees it over to the Columbus Blue Jackets defense, which are able to get out of the zone. Jeff Skinner ultimately picks that one up. Here comes Janmark busting down the wing. He makes a man blow a tire with his hustle speed skating that he does so well, as we saw him set the all-time record. Shot off the toe by, I believe, Troy Stetcher of Tarasov, and now back to the blue line. Nurse makes a hesitant play. He gets it down low to Connor McDavid. McDavid back to the point for Nurse. Nurse over to the far side for Skinner, and while the Oilers were completing a line change, Perry came on, and we will have a power play to go here in this third period with 6.5 to go. The Columbus Blue Jackets take a hooking call, and that's a fortunate call for the Oilers, as they'll get 2 minutes to kind of waste clock and maybe score another goal here as Janmark. I don't really know how that's a hook, unless that arm got in there, I guess, on the second effort. So that's what they finally figured out. So there you have it. So let's see what happens. Face off now for the Columbus Blue Jackets inside their own zone. One back here by Connor McDavid, back to the blue line, as this will be Bouchard over the far side for McDavid. The Oilers getting it going. Shot fired, scores. Connor McDavid off the wing, fires it home, or was that Leon Draisaitl? I'm not sure who. Somebody just rifled a puck home, no questions asked. That was lightning fast, look off, look on, as I think Draisaitl just scored a beauty, and I didn't even see it. It happened so fast as the Oilers got this going, as McDavid got it back to the point for Bouchard. Bouchard got it to the wing, McDavid over to Draisaitl, and then the one-timer. Okay, so it's a one-timer. I'm sorry, I thought McDavid shot that puck. Nuge over to McDavid, over to Draisaitl, and now suddenly Nugent Hopkins has 2 assists in this game, and Draisaitl has scored a goal tonight to make things interesting. 6-2 or 6-3, the Oilers lead the Blue Jackets, and that's lights out. The game is over with 6:15 to go. That's Draisaitl's 19th of the season. I think Draisaitl has 2 goals tonight, doesn't he? His 18th and 19th. Nice to see the Sportsnet app put things back into position with putting up goals. And here's Brown trying to bury a goal. Can't do it. 6-3 the goals for the Oilers here. Puck to the far side. And that's huge to see the Oilers scoring that 6-3 goal. Needed that real bad, as this puck comes along the end wall. Puck now to the near side for Emberson. Emerson over to Brown, gets it down low to Perry. Perry spins off the end wall. He'll come to the left wing, back to the blue line. It comes now. Emberson fires the shot through traffic. Tarasov will make the save with 5.5 minutes to go here in this, what is now, yes indeed, late stages of the third period. Draisaitl picking up the goal. Nugent Hopkins, Connor McDavid picking up the assist. A 4-assist night for Connor McDavid. Nugent Hopkins 2 points in the game. Basically the big boys, thanks to Zach Hyman coming back, scoring some goals, get the game back going, and that you love to see, right? That's a huge victory for the Oilers in terms of getting things going for Mr. Zach Hyman, who I know has 2 goals in tonight's action as well. So you love to see it. Hopefully it all translates out to good things for the Edmonton Oilers, and ultimately we'll see if that is the case as the game finishes up here. Hopefully 6-3, if not 7-3 for the Oilers. So McDavid, 4th assist of the game, and Draisaitl ties Reinhart for the league with 19 goals. So yeah, crazy. Connor McDavid, though, how about that? 4 assists on his night where he celebrates 1,000 points. All right, what did he enter tonight's action with? 10-13 or something. So now all of a sudden you've got a situation where Connor McDavid's got, 10-13, 10-17, whatever you got. All of a sudden that starts creeping towards that next 1,000 pretty dang quick. So love to see it. But yeah, see what happens here. But 3:55 on the hour. We love to see it, and it's Ace. Ace, I don't hate the fact that Pickard's a good goalie. I just again, we're pumping the tires of goalie that has a sub 800 save or sub 900 save percentage when Stuart Skinner's in the exact same boat, right? I mean, 21 shots against and 3 goals against isn't exactly elite numbers, and compared to Stewie, it's not that much different. So that's, again, I'm always going to defend Stewie as long as Pix is below 900. If Pix gets his save percentage above 900, friends, I'm all about Calvin Pickard being the supreme goalie in the Oilers crease, but I don't want us to turn on him as soon as he starts costing us games, which you know will happen at some point because Oilers. That's all I'm saying. So again, hopefully this one well in tow tonight. 5:24 to go, face off inside the Jacket zone. But Calvin Pickard, I wish I could say he really factored into this game much, but a couple fluky goals against. He's made 18 saves, 857 save percentage, and the Oilers just kind of outscore their problems here tonight. And Ace, no, I know you're not mean to me, but I know I stand kind of on a different hill when it comes to Pickard a little bit there too. So I like clarifying that for all those listening. So here we go. Face off ultimately ends up coming all the way into the Oilers zone with the puck action here as I lose track of the play. 5 minutes to go in the third period. Monahan across the line fires it off the pants of an Oilers player. Hyman trying to get this puck going for his hat trick. Puck's just bobbling around the neutral zone. As I mean, a lot of this game, despite the Oilers scoring a goal in this, or a bunch of goals in this second period of the hockey game, the puck's just been bouncing around, really discombobulated, and really lackluster physicality. So it's not like there's been a bunch of something to write home about here tonight. Shot through traffic there from the Oilers. 4:16 left as Tarasov scoops it up. Tarasov, obviously, he's not a goalie to write home about tonight. 6 goals against on 34 shots. That is going to allow for a stellar 824 save percentage. I mean, he's been seeing it going. But back to the blue line, 4:15 to go in this third period. Ekholm's going to see it back into his own zone. Over to Bouchard, now near sideboards. Shot fired off the end wall, off the pads of, you betcha, Pickard out there, as it'll be fired off the glass. Over to the zone, the Oilers see the puck bobble. That's going to allow Kasperi Kapanen to bobble it. That allows now Podkolzin to leave it there for Draisaitl over to Kapanen. The Oilers overpass that puck. Draisaitl should have just carried it into the corner. And this will now be Bouchard down low. 3:40 to go in the third period. And this will now be Draisaitl carrying through center as this one comes through the middle now for Emerson, I guess. And this will go along the boards. Perry, I don't know what's going on here, but neither team really standing tall as that puck hits Perry on a point shot that had eyes for the net, as this comes now to Derek Ryan, who again just does not much of anything here tonight. Kind of, you could have guessed that one night in, night out. Shot in front by Perry, ends up going back to the point for Kulak. Point shot off the blocker, Tarasov, who, quite honestly, if you've been watching this hockey game tonight, Daniil Tarasov has looked absolutely awful start to finish. Now back through the neutral, Sillinger, who's had himself a good night as he usually does against the Oilers this year, carried into the corner, and it allowed Kulak to come up with the puck. But mercy me, a win that feels like it still took a few years off your life. 6-3 for the Oilers, 2.5 minutes to go here in the third period. For sure, we are about to get this job done here with 37 shots on net for the Oilers. So they did get some shots this period. We'll take that. We'll take that with a good grain of salt. With 2:18 to go in the third period, the Oilers chip up along the boards. Columbus is going to have to get a power play or something to think they're going to pull the goalie to try and score a goal and allow the Oilers a chance at the empty net. But here coming back the other way is Stetcher across the line as Stetcher tried to direct that on net. Weaker effort, but he could have definitely done worse for getting it down low and allowing Jeff Skinner an opportunity to get it through the corner as the Columbus Blue Jackets at their own blue line. We're just wasting time here. Can I go to bed? That'd be nice. I love the fact that the Oilers won this game early and often tonight, but yeah, it's definitely getting close to bedtime here as we close in on 10 o'clock this evening, friends. Pucks along the end wall. Ekholm battling there, $1.50 to go. Through the middle of the ice in the own zone, Ekholm ended up turning that puck over. Bouchard on his second chance, able to bail him out. As here comes Nugent-Hopkins, leaving it for Connor McDavid on his backhand. McDavid fires the shot. He thought about leaving it for Hyman, but Hyman didn't have the edge on that puck, so he didn't do it. As McDavid will look over now for Nugent-Hopkins. Nuge with the puck. Over to Bouchard, over to McDavid, as the Oilers just play keep away with a minute to go in this third period of play, friends. Time winding down and the game winding to a close for the Edmonton Oilers here. As this one comes up the right wing, Brown across the line. Ryan gets the puck down deep, 42 seconds to go in the third period of play. As this shot comes through the neutral, tipped into the Oilers zone on the right side. As Zachary, welcome aboard as we get things going here. 30 seconds to go in this third period of play, and it looks like my screen's going to freeze, and that will pretty much do it for tonight's hockey game. Perry carried it forward with the glove for a brief moment. Brown down the right wing fires a shot towards the net. Tarasov says, "Get that garbage out of here," tips it along the boards. Emerson over to the far side. Kulak now picks it up. Brown fires it down, and this will allow Kulak to get it to the point. Emerson rips the shot off the end wall. Tarasov covers up. The green light goes off. Friends, that will do it. The Edmonton Oilers have won the game 6-3, and we transition now quickly to the post-game edition. Thank you for being aboard here tonight. We're not done. Let's get to it. The double finger snaps upcoming. Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Wow. The Oilers, they win 6-3. Shoot the puck, score goals, good things happen. The Oilers score 3 goals and win a hockey game. Who would have thought? Honestly, the lesson is if the Oilers score 3 or 4, they're going to win more times than not this year, and that they have here against the Columbus Blue Jackets this evening. And you love to see it. The Oilers desperately needed a win this evening. They got it. 6-3 now improved to 14-10-2 on the season, which gets them to 30 points, which gets them up the standings, which is all good and nice to say. Friends, if you're new to the channel, I'll encourage you right now to hit that subscribe button. I'll do that once here to begin the video, and that's it. That's all. But yeah, definitely awesome to see out of the Edmonton Oilers tonight. A 6-3 victory that gets the job done. Really, in terms of breaking this one down, it was a tough first period to watch. The Oilers came alive in the second, and third period they survived and they got the victory. That's all that really is the scoring summary. Kevin Labanc, Zach Hyman with 2 goals tonight. He scored the first one, Draisaitl the second one, Ekholm the third one, Hyman the fourth one. Severson scored the second one for Columbus, the fifth one Jeff Skinner. And then Draisaitl on the power play from Nugent-Hopkins and Connor McDavid as the power play scores 2 goals tonight. Hyman the first star, McDavid second with 4 assists, and Draisaitl the third. The big boys lead the way. Don't forget Nugent Hopkins had 2 assists, so did Bouchard. So Henrique as well. Don't forget about him. Jeff Skinner with a 2-point night. It was a good night for the Oilers' top 3 lines. I will tell you that much for sure, as Matthias Janmark chips in an assist, and like I said, Matthias Ekholm scores a goal. So you love to see it. It was a fantastic effort, all told, for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Not start to finish, but in terms of achieving the victory, achieving 6 goals, only giving up 3. Again, I will tell you, before everybody dunks on Stuart Skinner because Calvin Pickard's so elite, Calvin Pickard, just for inconvenience sake, sported 22 shots tonight and allowed 3 goals. Yes, some pinballs and stuff, but those go in against Skinner as well. An .864 save percentage out of Calvin Pickard is good enough to win a hockey game tonight. So, again, the Oilers don't win because of Pickard. They win because they scored goals, and that's the case. If the Oilers start scoring 4, 5, 6 goal games night in, night out, this team's going to go on a long couple of winning streaks here over the next several months. So, very much so different game from Vegas, right? A high-scoring 9-goal affair instead of a 1-goal affair. And I don't think the block shots are nearly as crazy. Columbus, not nearly Vegas at all either. But what I got to caution you here is everybody would love to sit here and rip on the Oilers if they lost 6-3 to Columbus. But everybody's so cautious to celebrate the Oilers winning 6-3 against a team like Columbus. So what I'm going to tell you tonight, I've been negative about the Oilers all season, but again, you got to take the highs with the lows. That was some good advice in the comments there this morning, and I'll tell you, if the Oilers win 6-3 against Columbus, I'm going to love the fact that the Oilers are doing that. So, friends, that's really all I've got for you on the post-game edition. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I don't want to overstay my welcome with you this evening. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it simple. The Oilers win 6-3 against Columbus. It's a victory that you like to have in the bank. We're 14-10-2 on the season, 30 points achieved at the 26-point game mark. And now let's start building wins. We've won 4 of our last 5, and that's a huge difference for the Oilers. So, friends, I am up on out of here. Have yourself a great night. Thanks for being aboard. And to those of you watching back on the live stream, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you hanging out with me. If you haven't left a like on the stream, definitely do that as well. To everybody in the chat, thank you for hanging out tonight. I am going to call it a night, and we're going to head on out of here with